Hey everybody, Varun here from Language Academy. Guys, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be super special. This video, I'm going to give you each and everything you need to crack your PT test in the very first go. This video is going to be full course in around 2 hours. In 2 hours, I am going to give you all you need so that you don't have to watch any other video and you get your desired scores in the very first go. We made a video in 2022 as well, PT full course in 2 hours, and that video got more than 3 million views. And I'm really thankful and grateful to all of you. And thousands of students have got their desired scores watching that video. Now, why I am making another video? Because things have changed when we compare PT in 2022 to PT test in 2025. So in this video, I'm going to give you updated strategies, updated templates. I'm going to tell you what's not working anymore and what are the things you need to take care of. There has been slight changes to the format as well. So I'm going to share that as well with you in this particular video. For all those who are here for the first time, let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is Varun. I've been teaching PT for the last 7 years. I've got 12 to 13 times till now, I guess around 13 times in PT test, and I know what PT test is. I've been in your shoes as well, and I know how difficult it is or how frustrating it can be to take the PT test again and again and putting in everything and still not getting your desired scores. So I know, and I really believe if I have done it 13 times, you can do it as well. So let's get into the video. We have taught more than 50,000 students at Language Academy, and you are going to be the next one who will get desired scores in the very first go with us. Let's get into the video. I've made a presentation. It's a long presentation, but it's full of information. Information packed session this is going to be, but I want you to take notes. I want you to have your notebook and pen handy so that you can take notes and you don't have to watch the video again and again. I'll be sharing my screen, and side by side, I'm going to share all the tips, strategies, and tricks you need to follow to crack your PT test. Let's get into the video. All right, PT full course in one video. What is PT test? Let me give you a quick brief if you already don't know. PT is an English test used for study, visas, or migration purposes. This has got 4 modules: speaking and then writing, reading, and listening. There are 20 different task types, means 20 different question types. This is an integrated test. When I say integrated test, it means that speaking contributes to your reading, reading contributes to your writing, listening contributes to your writing, writing contributes to your reading, speaking also contributes towards your listening. So it might sound a bit confusing, but by the end of this video, you'll be okay. It is very important because it is an integrated test. It is very important to know the marking criteria and which task will give you points in which module so that you can focus accordingly. Test goes for around 2 hours and there is no break in the test. So once you start, you have to finish it in a single go. Before you start your test, very important, remember this is a computer-based test. There is no human who will put in effort to understand what you are trying to say. You need to make sure your microphone is proper and working and you are able to hear your voice properly. You will have a screen like this where you can check your headset. You can check the volume or the sound output and the recording input you are giving. You need to make sure your pen, your marker or highlighter, whatever you'll be provided over there is working. If it's not, please ask for an extra marker. Make sure you're comfortable. If you are not fine with your microphone or if you think your voice is not being recorded properly, ask for help and focus. You have to be calm, confident, and easy. Whenever you go for the test, in the same room, you'll have around 6, 7, or 8 people taking the test at the same time. And when you start the test, it can be slightly loud or there can be a lot of noise in the room. You have to focus on what's on your screen and ignore the noise you get or anything you are hearing. Another thing I want you to be careful about, whenever you practice, try to practice with some kind of background noise or in a noisy environment because test is going to be in a noisy environment. Another thing, this is what your microphone or the headset is going to look like in the test. exactly same headset will be there for majority of the test takers. Make sure the microphones here are very sensitive. Don't touch it again and again while taking the test. Don't keep it too close to your mouth. Do not keep it too far away as well. Just keep it parallel to your mouth, around 3 to 4 fingers away. The microphones are very sensitive, so don't touch them again and again. Don't change the position during the test. Just set it and move on. It should be parallel to your mouth or somewhere between nose and mouth. Not too far, not too close as well. Also, do not touch it again and again. Otherwise, this is going to be a bit problematic when it comes to recording, because there's no human who will put in effort to understand you. If the computer or the system understands you, you'll get the scores. Otherwise, unfortunately, you're not going to get the scores. Okay. So let's get back. All right, the very first task, once you are done with checking your microphone, your recording, and everything, the very first task you'll get is your personal introduction. This is just to get you started. This is not evaluated. You will have 25 seconds to prepare, and then you will be given 30 seconds to speak about yourself. You can speak about yourself, anything, your name, what do you study, what are your future plans, what are your hobbies, anything for up to 30 seconds. This is not evaluated, so you don't really need to worry about it. But please make sure you do not skip it. This will help you get started with the test. You can speak anything you wish to speak about yourself. After this, your test will start, and the very first module which you'll have is the speaking module. In speaking module, you have 5 different question types, and speaking is the backbone of the PT test. I'll repeat again. Speaking is the backbone of the PT test. If you do good in your speaking module, you'll get a higher score in your reading and listening as well. There are around 28 to 29 number of questions in the speaking module and 5 different question types. Read aloud, you have 6 to 7, then repeat sentence 10 to 12, 3 to 4 describe images, 1 to 2 read a lecture, and 5 to 6 answer short questions. Let's get with the first task of the speaking module. Read aloud. What happens in read aloud? In read aloud, you'll have a text on your screen. Once the text comes on your screen, you'll have around 35 seconds to prepare. Once the 35 seconds are gone, your microphone will open up and you'll be given around 35 to 40 seconds to read this text. As I mentioned that you will have a text on your screen with 35 seconds to prepare. After that, your microphone will open up. A beep sound will be there, which will indicate that your recording has started, and you'll have to read what is on the screen. You'll have 6 to 7 read alouds in the test, and this task is extremely important. This task is extremely important because it gives you a lot of points in speaking and in reading. This is assessed on 3 parameters. Basically, all the speaking modules or speaking question types are assessed on 3 parameters: fluency, pronunciation, and content. All of these I'll explain to you in a while. So this is how your screen is going to look like in the test. Almost similar. This is a screenshot from our website where you can go and practice. When you practice, you'll get to know how much you're getting in fluency, pronunciation, and content. You will also have sample responses over here. All right. What are the things you need to take care of in read aloud? I'll do a sample answer for you, but before that, I'll explain you a few things. As I've told you, your speaking is based on 3 parameters: fluency, pronunciation, and content. Fluency does not really means going fast. Fluency means that you go at a moderate pace in a flow, avoid unnatural pauses, unnatural hesitations, and self-corrections. You can still take natural pauses, and natural hesitations are fine. Fluency does not means going fast. Please keep this thing in mind. It just means you have to go in a smooth flow. Pronunciation means your clarity, not your accent. A lot of students I have seen, they try to copy accents. You don't have to copy or imitate any kind of accent. Just keep it natural, speak clearly, and you will be okay. Content is different for each and every question type. For read aloud, content means reading the words given on your screen, not leaving any of the words if you're reading the full paragraph, and make sure you focus on S and ED sound at the end of the words. For example, instead of words, you cannot say word. You have to properly pronounce and stress the S sound or the ED sound at the end of the word. How do you read numbers, contractions, and years? You have to read each and everything in the standard form of verbal communication or verbal English. Numbers, for example, I have $10,000. You'll say 10,000. I was born in 1996. So you'll never say I was born in 1996. Contractions, can't, don't, doesn't, you have to read exactly the same way. Years I've already explained: 2001, 2005, 1996. So if I have to read this text, this is the pace I'll go at. Plants play a crucial role in ecosystems, serving as a foundation and contributing to human well being by providing resources such as food and medicine. In order to gain a deeper understanding of how plants can adapt and remain resilient in the face of challenges like climate change, scientists have developed an innovative mathematical model. Calm, composed, focusing on clarity. Your clarity or your pronunciation is the main factor. Your fluency is not. Even if you're going slightly slower, but you are clear, you'll get the scores. So focus on your flow, focus on your clarity, and make sure you do not miss the S and ED sound. And this is an important task, so make sure you practice. Task number 2, repeat sentence. What happens here? You'll get an audio containing a sentence. The sentence can be anywhere between 8 to 16 words long. Once the audio finishes, within half a second, almost immediately after the audio, your recording will start and you'll have to repeat the sentence exactly as you hear it. You will have 10 to 12 repeat sentences, and this is an extremely important task type because this contributes towards your speaking and listening module. A lot of points towards your listening. Extremely important task, I'm telling you again and again. Again, this is assessed on 3 parameters: 5 points for fluency, 5 for pronunciation, and 3 for content. This is how your screen will look like. The audio will go on. Once the audio finishes, your recording will start. In speaking, except for repeat sentences, in all the other question types, when your recording starts, you will get a beep sound. But in repeat sentence, there will be no beep sound. Remember this thing. You'll have to keep your eyes on the screen. As soon as the recording bar says recording now, you have to start speaking. What are the things you need to take care of in repeat sentences? As I mentioned, fluency is not about your speed. Do not throw off the sentence. Speak it in a very calm and composed manner. Speak in a smooth flow, not too fast. Avoid hesitations and self corrections. As much as you remember of the sentence, you speak it clearly. Pronunciation means speaking clearly, not trying to imitate any kind of accent. Content, what is content? It is bit tricky when it comes to repeat sentence. Repeat sentence says if you repeat 100% of the sentence, if you repeat 100% of the sentence, you get 3 by 3. 3 on 3 in content. If you repeat more than 50% but less than 100%, you get 2 on 3. If you repeat more than 25% but less than 50%, you get 1 by 3. But honestly, I have got 90 last 13 times in listening and speaking in both the modules in which repeat sentence contribute. And I can tell you honestly that every time I've been for the test, I was not able to repeat 100% of the sentences. Out of the 12 repeat sentences you will have, around 8 to 9 will be easy, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be difficult. What you have to focus on? You have to focus on understanding the sentence. As much as you remember, you have to speak it clearly and confidently. From my experience teaching PT for the last 7 years, taking the test again and again, having 90 13 times, I can tell you this thing that you do not really need to repeat 100% of the content. PT is not really testing your memory, rather, they're checking your speaking skills. What I would advise you, just focus on around 80% of the content, speak 80% of the content in a clear and confident manner, and you will get your scores. Obviously, try and maximize the content, but in cases where the sentence was fast, accent was difficult, sentence was long, you will not be able to repeat 100% of the content. In that case, what you have to do, as much as you understand, speak it clearly and confidently and go on. If you do so, 100% you will get your desired scores. As I've told you, do not stop. Let's say if the sentence is I am going to London with my friends tomorrow and you only remember half of it, I am going to London with my friends. If you don't remember the last half, there's nothing much you can do. You do not have enough time to think about it. Just remember as much as you can recall, speak it clearly and confidently. I'm going to London with my friends and I'm happy. Just add a filler so that your fluency does not goes down. You have repeated 50% of the content, you get 2 by 3 in your content. You were clear, you were fluent, you get full points in fluency, full points in pronunciation. So what I'm telling you, maximize the content. In case you don't have enough content, just repeat as much as possible clearly and confidently. If you'll stop, think, focus on recalling the content, You'll not be able to recall the content because you don't have enough time. Plus, you'll not be clear, you'll not be fluent, you lose points here as well. You can write down the initial, means the first alphabet of each word if you're comfortable, or I would suggest just memorize and understand the sentence, and then as soon as your recording starts, you go on. This was your repeat sentence. This can be challenging if you don't practice on daily basis, so make sure you practice around 30-35 every day. Next question type is describe image. An important question type. Why it is important? Because in November 2024, there was a time where students used to use templates and they used to get the scores. But templates are not going to help you anymore. Pearson's artificial intelligence is smart enough to detect if you're using the templates. If you have memorized the answers beforehand and you are just speaking the answers which you have memorized. For getting your full points in describe image, you have to make sure you speak relevant content from the image as well. There was a time where we even used to tell students to go with the template, but that's not the case anymore. If you want to get your scores now, you'll have to focus on the content in the image. What happens in describe image? You'll get an image that can be line graph, bar graph, pie chart, or any random image as well. As soon as you get the image on your screen, you'll have 25 seconds to prepare, and after that, 40 seconds to speak. You'll have 3 to 4 images in your test. This only contributes towards your speaking module, and this contributes towards, or this is based on 3 parameters again: fluency, pronunciation, and content. Fluency is your smoothness, pronunciation is your clarity, and content in describe image means describing or mentioning the main elements of the image and not relying on pre-memorized information. It means you should not be speaking things which are not relevant to the image and things which you have memorized beforehand which have nothing to do with the image. This is what your screen is going to look like if you have a look over here. This is your recording bar and this is the image which you are going to get in the test. As I've told you, fluency means going in a smooth flow, not too fast and not too slow as well. Avoiding any kind of hesitations and self-corrections. Pronunciation means speaking clearly. It's not about your accent. As long as you're speaking clearly, even if you are speaking in your native accent, it's fine. See, this is an English test designed for non-native speakers, designed for speakers like us. So it does understands all the accents. However, you have to make sure you're clear. For content, you need to describe the main elements of the image and provide a conclusion to get full points in content. However, your content should be relevant to the image. There's no right or wrong answer. So you don't have to go into too much details. Even if you're not 100% accurate, it's fine. But you'll have to make sure that you speak 100% relevant to the image. You are provided 40 seconds to speak, but you don't really need to go exact till the 40 seconds. You just speak around 30 seconds and click the next button. In all the other question types as well, let's say in read aloud, you've been given 35 seconds to speak, but you finish your response within 18 seconds. As soon as you finish, you just click on the next button. In case you have less content or less keywords from the image in describe image, you can repeat keywords or few ideas in different words from the image. Use the structure which I'm going to provide you now. So you start with the image type. For example, let's say it's a bar graph. The bar graph gives us information about the title of the bar graph. If you have been given a bar graph, graph, line chart, something which has got x-axis and y-axis, you can use this sentence. The x-axis represents this and the y-axis represents this. The image includes, you can mention 2, 3, 4 elements from the image. Firstly, over here you describe 2 to 3 elements from the image, furthermore 1 or 2 more elements. The highest figure is this if there are numbers in the image, and the lowest figure is this. If there are no numbers, let's say it's a process chart, you can just say the first step is this and the last step is this. Moreover, explain the remaining elements of the image. To conclude, the image provides information about the title. I'll use this structure or the template to describe one image for you guys. All right, let's say if we have been given this image, let's say you're not really sure about the image type, you can just say the picture. The bar chart gives information about the language usage proportion in a multilingual country. The x-axis represents different languages, which are English, Spanish, French, and so on. However, the y-axis represents usage percentage, which is 10, 15, and 20. Firstly, the maximum one is German, which is around 30, and the lowest one is English, which is 10. Furthermore, Spanish is the second number in the image and it is around 15, and the third element in the image is French, which is around 27. The maximum language spoken is German and the lowest one is English. However, we can see there are other languages spoken which are around 13. To conclude, the image provides information about the language usage proportion in a multilingual country. Now, what I've done is I've not exactly followed it, because when you actually describing the image, you will not be able to get each and every word of the template right. Instead of moreover, I just spoke however, and it is completely fine. The structure which you have been given is just to help you frame your answer. You can play around with the connectors, you can play around with the words as well. If I have to follow the structure, so you go this way. The bar chart gives information about language usage proportions in a multilingual country. The x-axis represents the languages spoken, and the y-axis represents percentage of usage. Firstly, English has a percentage of around 10. Spanish is higher at 15%. So these two elements. Then furthermore, French is around 27% and German is around 30%. The highest is German, which is 30%, and lowest is English, which is 10%. Moreover, Chinese is around 22, 20, 21, whatever you find. I've told you, you don't have to be 100% accurate, but 100% relevant. They're not really checking your analytical skills, they're checking your speaking skills. So even instead of 22, if you say 21, it's fine. And the other category is around 13%. To conclude, the image provides information about the language usage in a multilingual country. This is how you do it. So for this one, if I have to use the structure but not exactly follow it, this is how I'll be doing this. The pie chart gives information about the national energy usage structure. There are different elements which include nuclear, hydro, and renewables. Renewables is around 33% and hydro is around 7.7%. Furthermore, nuclear accounts for around 25.3% and natural gas is around 11%. The highest one is renewables and the lowest one is hydro. Moreover, coal is around 16% and oil is around 6.6%, which is depicted by orange color. Overall, the image gives information about national energy usage structure for oil, coal, natural gas, and other parameters. That's all. That's what you have to do. So just say the image type, title, then what all is there in the image, and then two elements, first two elements, second two elements, highest, lowest, third element, and a conclusion. That's what you have to do in describe image. In line graph, you can say maximum, what's the minimum. You can use words like increase, decrease. For process cycle, you can mention the first and the last step, and you can use firstly, this first step is this, next step is this, then it leads to this, finally this happens. For maps and diagrams, you can use words like what's in the north, what's in the south, what's in the west, what's in the east, what's at the top, what's at the bottom, what's on the left, what's at the right as well. So you can use words like top, bottom, left, north, south, center for just random images. Let's say you've been given an image of the park. You can mention what's in the background of the image, what's on the right hand side of the image, what's at the bottom, what's on the right and left. This is what you have to do and you will be 100% fine. Let's say if I get this image. The image gives information about different types of moon. The image is divided into four different parts. The first part is crescent moon, and below that we can see the animals are swimming down under the sea. For the second part, it is the half moon, and the fishes have come above the level of the sea, but not exactly over the sea. The third part is the full moon, and I can see a lot of fish activity all around the sea. For the last part is also a crescent moon, and the direction of the fishes looks a bit changed. Overall, the image gives information about sea fishes and different moon types. That's all. I know I was not 100% accurate, but no one is really expecting you to be 100% accurate. All what they're expecting you to do is to repeat relevant content in around 30 seconds, not repeating the same sentences again and again, and then focusing on the content as well. If you actually want to check if your template is working, if your structure is working, you can go on languageacademy.com.au. We have revised our AI system. Our system is also smart enough to detect your template. And if our system is detecting, if Language Academy system is detecting that you are using a template, most probably Pearson system will also detect and you'll not get the scores. So it is always a good idea that you go on languageacademy.com.au, practice a few describe images, see what scores you're getting, how you have to improve your pronunciation. Each and everything is AI based and is going to get you a lot of pointers on what you need to do to get your desired scores. So the template detector is there and will help you prepare better. I'll highly recommend you going on languageacademy.com.au and practicing over there. All our students have done the same and have got their desired scores as well. Next task type is Retell lecture. Again, an important task. What happens here? This is the fourth task of your test. What happens over here? You will get an audio lecture or sometimes a video lecture as well. A lot of students are a bit surprised when they see videos in the test, but remember you can get video lectures as well. You'll get an audio or a video lecture which will be around 40 to 90 seconds long. While the audio is going on, you'll have to take down notes. After the audio, you will only have 10 seconds to prepare. So your audio goes on. While the audio is going on, you're taking notes. After the audio, you'll have 10 seconds to look at your notes and prepare. And then you'll be given 40 seconds to retell your lecture. This task is important because it gives you points in speaking and listening. You'll have 1 or 2 retell lectures in your test. This is again assessed on 3 parameters, 5 points for fluency, 5 for pronunciation, and 5 for content. Fluency means your flow, not going too fast, not going too slow as well. Pronunciation means your clarity. You have to speak as clear as possible and you can speak in your native accent as well. Try not to overstress on words. For your content in Retell lecture is important. Same thing as in describe image, Pearson has also launched template detector system in Retell lecture. If you are speaking irrelevant content, if you have memorized a lot of sentences beforehand which are not relevant or related to the lecture, or if you are speaking completely off topic, computer or the system is going to take it as you are speaking a template and you are going to straight away get 0 in your Retell lecture. Retell lecture templates used to work, not anymore. So I want you to be very, very focused and I want you to speak relevant content and use the structure which I'm going to provide, which is proven. I have used it recently and got 19 speaking, and you can do the same as well. This is how your screen is going to look like. You'll have an image over here, a recording bar over here. This shows your audio and this shows your recording over here. And then these are few of the things you need to take care of in Retell lecture. As I mentioned, fluency means speaking in a flow, not too fast, not too slow. Pronunciation means speaking clearly. Content, do not take single word keywords. A lot of students take just one word from the lecture and speak things which do not make any sense. It used to work, not anymore. For your content, you have to speak relevant content, at least 4 to 5 phrases or sentences from or related to the lecture. There's no right or wrong answer, so you can speak in your own words as well. Even if you're not 100% accurate, you need to be 100% relevant. You have to speak around 35 seconds and make sure you do not stop even if you run out of ideas. In case the lecture was very short, you only have 3 sentences, you can repeat the 3 sentences in different words. Repeat the same phrases if you have less content. Make sure you have relevant content from the lecture. Use the structure, not a very big template. Do not repeat the same sentence again and again. Don't just say, I can see, I can see, I can see. He told about, he told about, he told about. That used to work, not anymore, unfortunately. Grammar, repetition, and vocabulary. Grammar is still not important in PT speaking. Repetition, if you repeat the same sentences again and again and again, especially from the template which you have memorized, you're not going to get the scores. Vocabulary is not important in PT speaking, so I don't really want you to use Fancy words, use simple words, words which you can pronounce clearly so that you don't lose points in your pronunciation and you get your scores in your speaking and listening. This is the template or the structure which I recently tried in the test and got 19 speaking. After the changes, only I have tried this in the test. So you start with the topic. For example, Australia's economy was the main topic of the lecture. Firstly, he mentioned that Australia's economy is dependent on three main sectors which involve mining, education, and tourism. Furthermore, he discussed that international education is an important part of Australian economy. Moreover, mining is the top contributor to the economy and contributes the highest to the GDP. However, tourism sector should not be neglected because it has contributed the most since the COVID-19. Additionally, he said that Australian tourism plays an important role in providing employment to people all over the country. Also, different other sectors which are not mentioned in the lecture should also be taken into account. Overall, the lecture was about the economy in Australia and focused on different sectors which include mining, tourism, and education. This is what you have to do. Take down short sentences or short phrases, make a story by yourself. Even if your story is not exactly the same as the lecture, if the meaning is not exactly the same, it's fine. You need to be relevant to the lecture and you will be doing your job. This is a simple answer. Global warming was the main topic of the lecture. Firstly, he mentioned that there are several reasons which leads to global warming or lead to global warming in the world. Furthermore, you can say here discussed or you can simply start. Furthermore, important steps should be taken to reduce the impact of global warming, and the steps can be taken by the government. Moreover, burning of fossil fuels and smoke from the factories is one of the main contributors. However, animals and wildlife are seriously impacted due to global warming. Also, he said that global warming should be controlled, otherwise, it can lead to diseases. It is important to take necessary steps to reduce the impact. Overall, the lecture was about global warming and focused on different reasons for global warming. This might sound difficult to you. However, this should be done. This will only come into flow if you practice 2 to 3 Retell lectures every day and you take the notes neatly. A lot of times, what happens is that when the lecture starts, students they want to take down each and everything. I would highly request you to not focus on writing down everything. Only write down keywords which you can easily in a clear and calm manner. If you do so, 100% you will be able to crack this test. Take down easy words neatly. It's fine to write less and repeat in different words rather than writing a lot which you're not able to read what have written. Take your notes in an organized manner and a clear manner. Do not worry about writing everything. Just focus on the main topic and write 3 to 4, 5, 6 supporting points or ideas related to the topic. In case you miss something, don't worry about it. Move on to the next idea. If you have less words, you can rephrase in your own words. Use firstly, furthermore, moreover, whatever linkers you want to use. You have to speak around 35 seconds. Try not to go too fast or not to take long pauses. You can take slight pauses, but your focus should be on pronunciation and your flow. Make sure you focus on the main topic and the ideas during the lecture. Don't just focus on writing notes, try to understand a bit as well. If the lecture is long, you can write 4 to 6 keywords. If it's short, you can write 2, 3, 4 phrases or sentences along with the topic. And if you are short on time, you can repeat the same. Try to practice note taking, focus on fluency and pronunciation. And in case you have something off topic or something you're not familiar with, just focus or rely on what you have written down and repeat in different words. You have to basically frame a story. Let's say these are my notes. I'll give you an example how I make up a story, okay? No one's gonna check if you are 100% correct as per the lecture, but they're going to check for your templates or excessive use of pre-memorized information. The lecture was about dreams and provided important information about things we imagine when we dream. Firstly, he mentioned that all dreams are a collection of images and thoughts and are also symbolic images and thoughts what we think when we are living. However, he also mentioned that there can be multiple issues when we sleep related to symbolic images and thoughts, but this can be resolved with sleep. Furthermore, in the lecture, he mentioned that sleep is good and should be taken. Along with sleep, it is important to take nap because taking nap is also good and healthy for our body. Finally, towards the end of the lecture, he told that memory processes are beneficial and sleep can help us with the memory processes and keep our health in a good shape. Also, it was mentioned that there are many issues which can be resolved with sleep, and dream is part of a collection of images and thought. Overall, the lecture was about dream, different images which we think when we are alive and awake, and different issues which can be resolved with sleep. I messed up with information a bit. I wanted to speak the word awake, but that was not coming to my mind. I just spoke alive, but at least I maintained the fluency. I'll get full points in that. I spoke clearly, I'll get full points in that. Might be I'll lose half a point or 1 point in content, but it's still better than losing 2 points in content, two in fluency, and two in pronunciation. Whatever notes you have should be very neat and clean. Frame a story from the lecture. You will do your job. Use connectors. Go around 35 seconds. Start with the main topic, firstly, furthermore, moreover, and then to conclude or overall, and you will be okay. And that's your Retell lecture. Sometimes, if you have less content and you have an image on your screen as well, you can speak the ideas from the screen or the image as well. Use the image which you have been provided. After Retell lecture, you'll be on the last question of the speaking module, answer short question. Not important, and I would not recommend you practicing these. What happens over here? You will get 5 to 6 one-word journal knowledge-based questions. The audio will go on, and once the audio stops, after 1 to 2 seconds, you'll have to give out the answer for whatever question was asked in the audio. You'll have to give your answer in just few 2 3 words, 1 2 or 3 words, not whole sentences. This contributes to your speaking and listening. If you get the correct answer, you get 1 point. If incorrect, you get 0. This is how your screen is going to look like. Now, you don't really need to give a very long response, just 1 to 3 words are fine. One trick which I've used and which works over here, still works over here. When I took the test recently, where I've got 90, I got 6 answer short questions, out of which I knew the answer to the 4, but remaining 2, they were a bit tricky and I was not really sure about the answer. So what I did, I used a trick over here. If you know the answer, speak the answer. If you don't know the answer, just repeat the question or the important keywords from the question. If there are options given in the question, for example, which is the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa or Taipei 101? You don't know the answer, repeat both the options. Burj Khalifa, Taipei 101. Whatever the correct answer will be, computer will pick it up and will get you the scores, will give you the scores. This trick still works. Make sure you do not stay quiet or don't say, I don't know. If you know the answer, fine, speak the answer. Otherwise, repeat few keywords from the question. And this is the trick which I've been mentioning in my previous videos as well. I don't really want you to practice these a lot. Just cover the predictions we post on YouTube. You can just go on Language Academy's portal, whereby we have given predictions. Predictions are questions which are likely to be in your test, and there's a very high repeat rate from Language Academy's portal. You can just cover around 200 predicted questions a week before your test, and that will be the end of your speaking. These are some of the type or examples of answer short questions. What is the first paragraph of an essay? Introduction. If you don't know the answer, just say first paragraph of the essay and move on. Do not say I don't know, do not keep quiet. And that is the end of your speaking module. An easy module if you practice, however, you'll have to practice. If you don't practice, you're going to struggle big time. And if you do not do good in your speaking module, things can be very difficult. Speaking is the backbone and must be practiced on daily basis. To practice, you can just go on languageacademy.com.au. I'll just share my screen and show you how you have to practice so that you do not struggle when you go and practice. So you just go on languageacademy.com.au, register over there, go to practice material. We are updating the UI user interface of the website, so it might look a bit different when you use it. So for example, if I'm going to read aloud, you go here, you open it, your recording, you will get the text on your screen. Yep. So you'll have this text on your screen. You can skip it. You will not have this option in the test actually. Then speak your answer over here, whatever you're doing. You stop it, you submit it, and then you will get what score you're actually getting, what are the words you pronounced correctly, what is your word score, and then you can see the remarks over here and the sample answer over here. So everything is organized for you guys. Each and everything is there on this portal, and that's the only portal you need to crack your test in the very first go. And that is the end of your speaking module. We'll now move on to the writing module. All right, the very first task of your writing module is summarize written text. An important task type at the same time, very easy. You do not have to do much over here, and there are tricks which you can use in summarize written text as well. What happens in summarize written text? You'll get a passage on your screen which can be up to 300 words. Once you have the passage on your screen, you'll have 10 minutes in which you'll have to read and summarize the passage in just one sentence. And the sentence can be between 5 to 75 words. One sentence means you can only have one full stop that should be at the end of the sentence. You'll have to read and summarize the passage in 10 minutes. This is important because this gives you points in writing and reading. You'll have one or two summarized written text in your test. This is assessed on 4 parameters: content, form, grammar and spellings, and vocabulary. This is how your screen is going to look like. This is the passage, instructions, timer, and this is where you type your answer. How the content marking works. To get 2 points out of 2, you have to make sure you at least have 5 to 7 important keywords from the passage in your answer. Look, there is no right or wrong answer. So PT cannot fix one answer for this particular question type. There is no fixed answer. Let's say 1,000 students are given the same passage. Each and every student will have a different answer. How will computer check if your content is correct or not? Based on the keywords from the passage. From the passage, you have to make sure you have at least 5 to 7 keywords. What are keywords? Important words which are nouns, topic words, words repeated again and again, words related to the main topic as well. 1 point for form. Form simply means you have to write in one sentence, that is only one full stop, no question mark, no exclamation, and between 5 to 75 words. Even if you write a single word more than 75, you're going to get 0 in form. And 0 in form means no further checking. So 0 in form means 0 in here, 0 here as well. So make sure you write between 5 to 75 words. I would recommend you going around 60, 65 words. That's all right. And then 2 points for grammar and spellings. Pretty simple. For this, if you have one grammar or spelling mistake, you get 1 by 2. If more than one grammar or spelling mistake, 0. If no grammar or spelling mistake, 2 by 2. 2 points for vocabulary. For this, you have to make sure you use academic words. Do not use any kind of short form, abbreviations, or slang language. Now, what you have to do, remember, you can only use one full stop, one exclamation, one question mark, so that you only write one sentence, and this has to be at the end of the sentence. You have to write between 5 to 75 words, and you're not expected to cover everything. You cannot write 300 words in 60 words. You are just expected to cover the main idea, the main keywords. Satisfy the marking criteria. That's your job. The marking criteria is 2 points for content. For that, you have to give out around 6, 7 keywords. 1 point for form, you have to write between 5 to 75 words, no grammar and spelling mistakes. You can use words and phrases from the passage. There's one method which I'll not recommend you to use. This is reading the passage, getting the idea, and framing the sentence by yourself. This is a bit tough and I would not want you to use it. What I do in the test, which our students do in the test, more than 50,000 students till date have got the desired scores. I've got 90 13 times using this. Read the passage, select 3 to 4 important sentences. When I say important sentences, that means sentences with important keywords. And join the sentences using the connectors. You can change 1 or 2 words. This is an example. Look at the example. What is the connector which you have to use? You write, let's say this is the passage, right? The first sentence, which I think is important, is the first sentence because majority of the times, first sentence will introduce the main topic. So you write from here till here. Then you find another sentence. Another sentence which is important over here. can be this. This is what I've identified. I've done this before only, so I'm just telling you why, because this has got bacteria, antibiotics, and then few other keywords as well, medication and all. And then after joining these two sentences, I was already on around 60 words. So I needed a short sentence. If I would have written a long sentence, I would have exceeded the word limit. So I have selected a short sentence, which is they spread to humans and to the environment, which is an exponential spread. That's what you have to do, and you will be all right. Now, how you have to connect sentences, and what are the connectors which you have to use? You write the first sentence, use comma, and second sentence, then comma, furthermore, third sentence. And if you still have that word limit and you want to add another sentence, you use comma, moreover, comma, fourth sentence. I'll repeat again. Select 3 to 4 sentences from the passage with important keywords. Majority of the times, the first sentence will be important. Write the first sentence, put comma and second sentence. If you still have word limit left, means you can still write more words, put comma, furthermore, comma, third sentence. If you still have the word limit left, put comma, moreover, comma, fourth sentence. Even if after writing 4 sentences, you are still on 50 words, because sometimes sentences can be short, you can write comma, however, comma, and the fifth sentence. That's what you do. At the end, put a full stop. The first alphabet should be capital, as I've done over here. Scientist as is capital, however, and furthermore, moreover will not be capitalized. And bacteria b, I have not capitalized. They have capitalized in the passage because they're starting a new sentence, but we are just writing one sentence, so we will not capitalize this. However, if there is any word which in the middle of the sentence is capitalized, you have to capitalize it as well. For example, if there's any proper noun such as Sydney, Sydney anywhere in the sentence will be capitalized. So if there's any word in for example, if I've written China, right? China should be capitalized. United Kingdom should be capitalized. So anything which in the middle of the passage or the sentence is capitalized, you have to capitalize it as well. You are given 10 minutes. I would say take 1 to 2 minutes to identify the sentences, next 5 minutes to write, and then at least 3 minutes to proofread, and making sure you do not have any typing or spelling mistakes. That's what you have to do. This 100% works. You don't really need to rephrase all of the sentences. If you would want and if you're comfortable, you can just change 1 or 2 words. Even if you don't want to do that, that's 100% fine. And that's all for summarize written text. You don't really need to do anything else. Next task which we are on is writing essay. And this has changed a lot recently. This has changed a lot. You need to be very careful about writing essay. Summarize written text. I gave you a trick. You do not have to use a lot of your knowledge. You don't really need to have a lot of your ideas. However, in writing essay, you need your ideas. You need to address the topic. What happens here? You will be given an essay topic. You will have to write an essay on the topic between 200 to 300 words in 20 minutes. This will only contribute towards your writing module. However, this is going to contribute good amount of points in your writing module. You will get 1 or 2 essays in your test, and this is evaluated on 7 parameters. You get 3 points for your content, 2 points for your form, two for grammar, two for spelling, two for vocabulary, two for development, and two for linguistic range. When I say 3 points for content, this means that you have to make sure you address the topic properly. If you address the topic properly, means if they have asked you advantages and disadvantages, and if you're writing the advantages and disadvantages properly, you're getting 3 on 3. If they have asked you to mention advantages and disadvantages and give your opinion, and you're just writing the advantages, you are not addressing the topic properly, you're not giving disadvantages, you're not giving the opinion, you will probably get 1 or 2 in content. And if you have memorized a template, if you are just writing a template with minimal keywords related to the topic, you are straight away going to get 0 over here. PT system is pretty smart nowadays, and I would highly recommend you to not use essay or pre-memorized structures. You can have something, few phrases in your mind, which I'm going to give you in this video. However, with those structure or the phrases, you have to write relevant content as well. It's not that you're writing 90% of the template and only 10% of the ideas. If you're using a structure, it should be at least 50-50 or 60% of the content and 40% of the template. So majority of your essay should be relevant to the topic. If you get zero in content, you'll get zero all over here as well. Next, 2 points in your form. This means you have to write your essay between 200 to 300 words. I would say go around 270 to 80 words if your typing speed is good. If it's not that fast, you can go around 230 to 40 words. But more than 200, less than 300. If you exceed or decrease the word limit, you are not able to meet the word limit, you're going to lose points over here. If you get zero in form, no further scoring, you'll get zero everywhere here as well. Once your content and form is evaluated, you get 2 points in grammar. Pretty simple. If no grammar mistake, you get 2 on 2. If there's one grammar mistake, 1 by 2. More than one grammatical errors, you get 0 on 2. 2 points for spelling. You have to make sure you are very careful with spellings. If there's any word you're not sure, do not write it. Do not try to write fancy words. Just write easy words. 2 on 2 in spellings if there are no spelling mistakes. 1 on 2 in spellings if there's one spelling mistake. And 0 if you have got more than one spelling mistake. 2 points in vocabulary. For this, you have to make sure you use academic words, do not use short forms or abbreviations, and do not use slang language. For development, structure, and coherence, make sure you use connectors. You have around 4 to 5 paragraphs and you relate the ideas properly. For linguistic range, do not over repeat the same word again and again. You can repeat one word 2 or 3 times, or if it's related to the main topic, let's say you've been given an essay topic on computers, you can repeat that word 3, 4, 5, 6 times. But you can't just repeat the word furthermore, 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 or moreover, moreover, moreover again and again. So try not to repeat words which are not related to the topic again and again, and you'll get full points over here as well. One thing which I want you to be careful about in spellings throughout the PT test. In PT test, you can either follow UK English or US English, but you cannot mix both of these. If you're writing characterize with S, you have to write color with OUR. It's not that you can write one word from here or here. You lose points in spellings for that. So throughout the test, you can either use UK or US, but you have to make sure you stick with one. Also, you need to note this down that you have to capitalize the first alphabet of proper nouns throughout the test, throughout the language. This is very important thing to be taken care of. Anywhere in the language, if you get name of a person, place, any organization, any book, weekdays, month, religion, any nationality, any language, or any particular event which will not repeat again. World War II. World War II will never happen again. The next World War will be World War III. So W and T will be capital. Industrial Revolution already gone. I and R capital. So these type of words will always be capitalized. Name of subjects are not capitalized unless they're name of languages. So math and science will not be capital. However, English and French will be capitalized. So make sure you take care of these things. This is one thing which will seriously help you improve your scores. This is how your screen is going to look like in writing essay. Instructions, essay topic. This is where you type your answer, your word counter, and your timer as well. Timer sometimes is here as well, so you need to keep an open eye for that. All right, before I tell you how you have to use our portal and see if your template is being detected or you are being marked down on content, I'll tell you the structure you have to use. But it is very important you see how you have to use sample answers and suggested ideas as well. Things to take care of in essay, you are expected to write between this, but you should go around 250 to 270 words if your typing speed is good, otherwise 230 to 40 words. You can have agree, disagree essay, problem solution essay, or discussion essay. Divide the time, first 30 seconds to 1 minute, you read the essay topic, next 17 minutes to write, and 2 to 3 minutes to proofread the essay. You have to address the essay topic properly. Understand the topic and make sure you add relevant ideas. You can use the structure. However, you'll need to add relevant ideas. Just the structure will not get you the scores anymore. Or the structures where you have to just write one keyword, one keyword, one keyword. Unfortunately, that's not going to help anymore as well. Now, things are different. PT is smart enough to detect if you are using the template or not. So you have to be careful, okay? This is the latest template which is tried and tested, but you'll need to have to understand it and add relevant ideas. This is tried, this is tested, and this is definitely going to help you get a higher score if you follow it properly. Divided into 4 different paragraphs. This can be used in advantage, disadvantage essay, cause and effect essay, problem solution essay as well. You have to understand it properly. Pay attention here, please. The growing influence of essay topic, whatever the topic is, on our lives has sparked various debates. This issue is particularly significant because of its impact on, over here, you write whatever is impacted by the topic. Let's say if the essay is about global warming, you can write citizens. If the essay is about social media, you can write users, young adults, or young audience, or youth of the country. Impact on this affecting, so on should be here, sorry, my bad, affecting both individuals and communities. In this essay, I'll discuss the if it is an advantage disadvantage essay, you write this. If it's cause and effect essay, you write this. If it's problem and solution essay, you write this. So I'll discuss the problems and solutions of global warming and provide my opinion. You only write provide my opinion if you have been asked to give your opinion in the essay topic. If they have not asked for your opinion, you can just end the introduction over here. Body paragraph 1. One of the key benefits, if it's an advantage, disadvantage, one of the key benefits, if it's cause and effect, one of the main causes, if it's problem and solution, one of the major problems. One of the major problems of global warming is give one problem here. This is evident by the fact that you explain whatever the problem you have mentioned here. Various studies have shown that whatever the topic is or main keywords related to the topic is improves if you're giving advantages, if you're giving causes or problem leads to. Various studies have shown that global warming leads to serious diseases which can impact the human health. If it's advantage, various studies have shown that social media improves communication and interaction online. Additionally, other advantage or cause or problem of the essay topic is this. Therefore, the advantages, or you can write causes or problems of essay topic, should be considered with greater significance. However, this will be the other side of the argument. So if you have mentioned advantages here, disadvantages here. If you have mentioned causes here, effects here. If you have mentioned problems here, solutions here. However, along the benefits, there are drawbacks of. You can write this if it's an advantage, disadvantage. However, along with the causes, there are several effects of, if this is cause and effect. However, despite the problems, there are solutions too, if it's problem and solution. However, along the benefits, there are drawbacks of the social media or drawbacks of social media. One significant drawback of social media is that it promotes vulgar content or it promotes a lot of illegal activities such as cybercrime and bullying online. This is particularly evident in situations where children use too much social media and are exposed to cybercrime, leading to stress and anxiety. Furthermore, you'll give point number 2. So let's say if you're talking about drawbacks, furthermore, social media also impacts the human health, which creates challenges impacting both the individuals and societies. Therefore, it is essential to implement strategies to address these issues, challenges, or effects effectively. In conclusion, I believe that social media has both advantage, disadvantage, or causes and effects, or problem and solution, which should be considered. Moving forward, it is important to optimize the benefits or impacts or problems depending on the essay type of essay topic to ensure positive outcomes for individuals and societies as a whole. These are some examples. So we'll just have a look at one of the examples so that it makes it easy for you to understand. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of social media and its impact on the society. So our question is this. The growing influence of social media. So whatever is in bold, I've added from myself, rest is the structure. This issue is particularly significant because of its impact on communication and social interaction. In this essay, I'll discuss the advantages and disadvantages of social media and provide my opinion. You can write this, but this is optional. One of the key benefits of social media is that it enables instant communication and connectivity. This is evident by the fact that people can stay in touch with family and friends regardless of the distance. This is optional. You can write through messaging apps and video calls. Various studies have shown that social media helps to build professional connections and help with career opportunities. It also serves as a platform for awareness and about important issues. Therefore, the advantages should be considered with greater significance. However, alongside the benefits, there are drawbacks of social media. One significant drawback is that it can lead to addiction and reduced productivity. So one drawback is this. This is evident in cases where individuals, so this one we are explaining it further. This is evident in cases where individuals spend a lot of time scrolling or going through the internet. Furthermore, spread of misinformation on important topics creates challenges which impacts both individuals and society. Thus, it is important to address these issues effectively. In conclusion, I believe that social media has advantages and disadvantages. Moving forward, it is important to optimize the use of social media to ensure positive outcomes for individuals and society. This is the word count, which is perfect. This essay structure is going to take some time to sink in for you to understand. But once you do, you will not need to memorize 5 essay structures for different essay types. You'll have to type this structure 3 to 4 times and you'll be fine. It might sound a bit difficult, but this is the best way out. Would have given you a simple essay template where you just add keywords, but that way I would not be honest with you. I would be making your job very easy just for now. But when you go for the test and you don't get the scores, that will not be ethical for me to do. I have to be ethical, and that's why I've given you something which is slightly difficult. However, if you practice, you'll be fine. But this is something which actually works in the test. This is an example of agree disagree essay. You can pause and watch it. Discussion essay, problem solution essay, and cause and effect essay. I'll also explain you if you find it difficult to frame or memorize the structure, I'll tell you how you have to write a freestyle essay. But before that, let me show you how you have to practice the essays on the website and how to see how much score you are getting. Okay. If you look here, you just go to write essay. Let's say we go to first question. At the bottom, you have got sample response, a response which is framed using the same template which I have provided you. This will give you a clear idea how you have to use the template on different topics. If you don't really want to look at this, you have suggested ideas over here. What ideas can go into this particular topic? All right. Now, let me show you. Let me copy one essay. This student has got 14 on 15. Excellent job. All right. This student has got 0 on 15. Why? The response does not address the topic. The essay discusses between technology rather than focusing on films and lectures. The content is 0. This is what happens in the test. When you use a lot of template, you are not going to get the scores. Look, this student has used the template. This essay lacks focus on the topic. It uses a pre-memorized structure. Template detector is into effect over here. This is what happens in the test. You write this big often essay with minimal keywords. Straight away, you're going to get 0 because the template is going to be detected. So whenever you type your answer, you'll get in-depth feedback of your content, your spellings, your grammar. The verb is not correct, was working, you simply write works. You have to use a comma beforehand. So our AI is going to give you each and everything you need to crack your essay writing. I would highly request you to go on languageacademy.com.au and make sure you practice your essay, use the template detector and see how much you're getting in content. And if computer is detecting something off in your response and how you have to change it. All right, let me show you how you have to write a freestyle essay now. A freestyle essay will again go for 4 paragraphs. In the first, you'll introduce, then 2 body paragraphs, and then conclusion. Introduction will have 3 to 4 sentences. First sentence will be a journal sentence about the topic. Then you tell the first side of the argument, second side of the argument, and what all will be discussed in the essay. This essay will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of social media using a pragmatic approach. In first body paragraph, you talk about the first side of the argument you are in favor of. You start your paragraph to commence with there are a number of advantages of social media. Give one advantage, explain it, and give an example, and give one more advantage. You come on to the second body paragraph, which is the other side of the argument. You introduce, on the other hand, there are a number of disadvantages of social media. One disadvantage, explain it, give an example. You don't really need the fifth sentence here. This should be slightly lengthy. This should be comparatively one sentence short. And then you go to conclusion, 1 to 2 sentences. Give a conclusion and give a suggestion. This is a freestyle essay sample answer I've got for you. A journal sentence about social media, one side of the argument, other side of the argument, that there are positive, there are negatives as well. What this essay will cover. Introducing the paragraph, one advantage, explaining the same, one example, another advantage. Other side of the argument, one disadvantage, explaining it, an example. Conclusion and a suggestion. This might sound easy to you, but if you're confident with your grammar, spelling, and ideas, go for it. Otherwise, just go with the structure, you'll be fine. And in any case, you have to make sure you address the topic properly, write relevant content, make sure there are no grammar and spelling mistakes, use academic language, and out of the 20 minutes, just take around 16, 17 minutes to type, write your answer, and at least 2 to 3 minutes to proofread, please. When you proofread, another tip I'm going to give you, proofread backwards. Don't proofread top to bottom, proofread backwards. That way you'll be able to figure out more mistakes. Because when we proofread top to bottom, we don't really proofread what is actually on the screen, but we actually read what we think we have written. So this is a master tip. Please ensure that you apply this into practice, and 100% you'll see better results. And that is the end of essay, and we'll now move on to the third module of the test, reading module. All right, guys, the reading module, one of the most important modules, and this module is sometimes a bit difficult for students. What I would like to tell you is that reading has got 5 different question types. But the marks distribution is slightly different here. As I told you in the beginning of the test that PT is an integrated test. 50% of the points in reading are contributed by the reading module. Rest 50% are from speaking, read aloud, writing, summarize, written text, listening, highlight incorrect words, and highlight correct summary. So for now, we'll be having a look at these 5 question types. Reading. As soon as you start your reading, remember you'll have an overall time over here. You will have 15 to 16 questions and around 29 to 31 minutes. So basically you have around 2 minutes for each question, right? First question type you will get is reading and writing blanks, also called as drop down blanks. This is the first question and extremely important. This is going to contribute a lot towards your writing module. What happens here? You will get a passage on your screen with 4 to 5 blanks, means in the passage 4 to 5 blanks or 4 to 5 words will be missing. Each blank will have 4 options. This is extremely important because it gives you points in reading and writing as well. You'll have to understand the context or the meaning of the passage, follow the grammar rules which I'm going to give you right now, and eliminate the options which are incorrect. This is what the screen looks like. This is the passage. You click on any of the box or the blank and you get 4 options, out of which you have to select one, which will go over here as per the meaning of the passage and grammar. This is what our website looks like. I'll come to this as well in a while, but before that, have a look at what the question is actually looking for. The question requires you to have a deep understanding of grammar rules, of the context, and all the other factors. Before I explain you the grammar rules, you have to make sure you spend 2 minutes per passage. At max, if something is extremely difficult, 2.5 minutes. Your focus should be on understanding the meaning of the passage, using the rules I'm going to give you, eliminating the options and selecting the remaining option. Let's say you've got 5 blanks here and you're not really sure about the first one, you straight away come to the second one. Do not fill 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fill the ones you are sure about first and then come back to the remaining ones. Let's say you're confused about the first two. Fill 3, 4, and 5 first and then come back to first and second. Do not leave anything unattempted. This task is going to give you points in reading and writing. Therefore, I need you to practice 20 every day. You get 1 point for each correct blank. 1 point for each correct blank in reading and writing. Let's say you have got 5 passages with 5 blanks. This means you're going to get around 20 to 25 points in reading and 20 to 25 points in writing. So this is where the game changes. You have to make sure you work hard on these ones. Let's have a look at few of the grammar rules which I want you to take care of when you attempt reading and writing blanks. Let's have a look at basic things first. What are nouns? A word that names a person, place, thing, or idea. Words which are used to name or depict a person, place, thing, or idea. Teacher, friend, place, school, book, love, happiness. What is an adjective? A word which gives you more information about noun. For example, car is noun, red is giving you more information about car, that the car is red in colors. Therefore, red is an adjective. So adjective basically describes a noun. What is a verb? Which shows action. Verb is a word which shows action, event, or state of something is in. I am running, I am playing, I am laughing. These words, playing, running, jump, are all verbs. What are helping verbs? A verb that helps the main verb to form tense. Is, am, are, have. These all are helping verbs. What's an adverb? A word which describes verb. As adjective describes a noun, adverb describes a verb, can also describe adjective or another verb as well. Runs quickly here. A word that actually describes or gives you more information about a verb, adjective, or another verb is adverb. What is a pronoun? A word that replaces a noun to avoid repetition. For example, Rohan is a good boy. He plays in the ground. He is a pronoun. Words which are used to refer nouns. Avoid repeating the same noun again and again. What is a possessive pronoun? A pronoun that shows on ownership or possession of something. This is mine, yours, hers, his. He took my car. My can be a possessive noun in some cases, but mine, bring back his car. His means his possession on the car. So his is a possessive pronoun here. There are three forms of verb, as I've mentioned in my previous videos as well, but I'll be explaining here as well. First form is the simplest form of the verb. Second form is normally the past form of the verb. And third is either the past participle ending with ed or en or ing form of the verb. Basic form, past form, ed, or ing form of the verb. What is active and passive voice? Normally, a sentence in English is subject, verb, and object. Subject is person who is performing the action. Verb, whatever action is being performed. Object, on which the action is being performed. When subject, verb, and object, if the sentence is formed like this, Mark is playing cricket. So subject doing some action is verb and object is cricket. This is active voice. If this is reversed, means object comes first, then verb, and then subject. This is passive voice. Objects comes in the beginning of the sentence. This is passive voice. Cricket is being played, verb, by Mark. So this is passive voice. Active voice, you have the person first. Passive voice, you have the person or the subject last. Now, I want you to take down these grammar rules which are going to help you significantly when it comes to your reading and writing blanks or even reading blanks. If there is a blank right after an article a, an, or the, it will always be a noun. After a, an, or the, you will always have a noun. This is a dash. This is a car. Remember this thing. A friend. After a, an, or the, always a noun. Look here. If there's a blank after a or an, we have eliminated the over here. It will be a singular noun because a or an is used for singular things. I have an apple. You'll never say I have an apples. With apples, you'll use the. So after a or an singular noun, remember this thing. If there is a blank between article and the noun, what comes before noun? Adjectives, things, or words which give you more information about the noun. If there's a blank between article and noun, it will always be an adjective. A dash role, a great role. Adjective is giving information about the noun. He has a dash car. He has a red car. So red is an adjective for the word car over here. If there's any blank after between a and the or a noun, an adjective over there. If there is a blank right after possessive pronoun, words like his, their, her, our, mine, they will always be a noun. This is his house. House is a noun. We will use his car. Car is a noun. If there is a blank between a possessive pronoun like his, their, her, our, mine, and a noun, this is his dash car. This is his new car. New is an adjective. So between a possessive pronoun and a noun, there will be an adjective. Remember this thing. All right. If there is a blank after helping verb, words like is, am, are, was, were, they will either third form or continuous form, means ing form of the verb. Basically, in active form, you'll have ing form and passive form, ed form. When the subject, as I've recently just now explained you, in active voice, subject is first. If subject is first, after helping verb, ing form. If it is passive voice, you'll have ed form. Remember this thing, or third form you can say. Okay. If there is a blank after the words be or been, it will be either third form or continuous form, means ing. They have been trying to resolve the problems. The project will be completed by the next month. Be or been, ing or ed form. Always, if there's a blank after the word to, first form of the verb. You'll never say I'm going to playing, I'm going to played. You'll always say I'm going to play something, all right? So after to, first form of the verb. If there's a word or if there's a blank after a modal verb, words like can, could, may, might, would, shall, it will be first form of the verb again. She can pass the test easily. You'll never say she can pass the test easily. All right. If there's a blank after for or while, ing form of the verb. I'm here to learn with to first form. This is to help you with something and for storing the food. I want something for playing the guitar, for storing the food. All right. While studying, while exploring, with for and while ing form. Remember this thing. If there is any blank after has, have, had, use the past participle of the verb, that is ed form of the verb or third form. He has completed something which has already been done. He has completed the homework. They had gone to the party. Another important rule. This is something you will be using a lot. Remember this thing. If there is any blank after it, which, that, you will be using verb ending with s. It helps us. You'll never say it help us. This is very important. I'm telling you, you are going to use this a lot. Now, I use this a lot whenever I go for the test, right? After it, which, that, verb ending with s. All right. It plays, happens. Keep these rules in mind. Now, what is the right strategy to solve reading and writing blanks? Read the passage, quickly skim through the passage, come to the first blank. Try to look for the context and grammatical rules. You are confused, jump onto the second one. Still confused, fill the third, fourth, and fifth first. Come on to first and second blank. However, in the beginning, when you practice, it is going to take some time. It's not that simple as it's just saying that you just eliminate the options and fix it. You'll have to put in effort. You'll have to understand the meaning of the passage. You'll have to eliminate the options. You'll have to use the grammar rules. However, if you practice on daily basis, you will be doing a great job. I'll tell you how you have to make your practice easily and how with the help of Language Academy's AI tool, you can practice this particular blanks and understand the logic as well. Because many a times when students practice, they're not even able to understand what has gone wrong for them. So when you practice, let's say you're going to reading, writing blanks with the filters, you always select not attempted so that you get questions which you have not done before. And here filter by, you always click on with explanation videos. So let's say you click here and let me solve one for you. While practicing, you can click on the buttons here. You'll get to know the meaning of the word and then you can translate the word as well. Okay. Let's say, let's fill something randomly here. And let's submit. Oh, I've got 3 correct. I'm lucky, I guess. Now, let's say you have got or you have selected these two, okay? And you're not really sure why the right answer is the right answer and why your answer is incorrect. You click here. You will get to know the meaning of the answer you have selected, meaning of the correct answer, and the explanation as well. This is going to make your job super easy because when you practice, it's not about practicing a lot, but understanding where you have gone wrong. Additionally, you can look at the explanation or the meaning of the full passage. Also, I would want you to watch these videos if you're still unsure. Majority of the blanks on Language Academy have got audio and video explanation of why the right answer is the right answer and why the wrong answer is the wrong answer. If you go through these videos plus AI explanation, you will make your job very easy and things will be easier for you. You'll be able to understand why you have gone wrong, what's the logic, and you'll not repeat the same mistakes again. It's not about memorizing thousands of rules. It's more about learning what mistakes you have made and going forward, not making the same mistake in the logic, and you'll be fine. Let's move on to the next question type, which is MCQ single answer. This is the second question type of reading module. MCQ multiple answers, sorry, not important. I would not recommend you to practice these ones. They do not contribute much towards your test. What happens here, you'll be given a text on your screen. You'll be given a text on your screen. Along with that, you'll have a question and 5, 6, or 7 options. You have to read the question, find the correct option or the answer as per the passage. These are not important. You do not have to spend more than 1 minute per passage. Read the question. Highlight the main thing they have asked you. For example, they have asked you to figure out which countries drive on the left. Look for the information for the countries which drive on the left and then compare the information here with the options here and select the best possible one. There's negative marking here. You get 1 point for correct option, -1 for incorrect, and minimum is 0. Let's say you selected 2 options, both are incorrect. You'll not get -2, you'll only get 0. I would highly recommend you to only select one option which you are sure about, but do not leave anything unattempted. If you're not sure, just select any one, select C or whatever you feel is right, because if that's incorrect, you'll end up getting 0, not -1. This only contributes to reading and is not that important. I would not want you to practice a lot, but if you want to practice, you read this, identified what they have asked you, look for the information here, select one answer which you feel is right, and go on. Also, one more tip, most of the times the information in the options will be paraphrased, means will not be in the same words as the passage. Okay, this is what task 2 of the reading module is, and now we are on the third task of reading, which is again an important question type. PT reading, reorder paragraphs. What happens here? You will get 4, 5, or 6 sentences. all jumbled up means they will be in incorrect order. You have to read the sentences, figure out the story, and place them here in the box right hand side in correct order. You'll have 4 to 6 sentences jumbled up. You'll have to read the sentence, understand what the passage is about or the sentences are about, and arrange in the correct sequence. There are important rules which you need to follow, and you will be good to go. How is it marked? Is bit tricky. Please pay attention. You get 1 point for each correct pair, not correct placement, but correct pair. For example, the question is B, D, A, E, C is in this form, and the correct order is A, B, C, D, E. You get 1 point for each correct pair. So if you have placed A and B together, you get 1 point. If you have placed B and C together, 1 point. If you have placed C and D together, 1 point. If you have placed D and E together, 1 point. Maximum points for a passage having 5 sentences are 4. Let's say if your answer is CA, DBE, you get 0 points because CA is not a pair, AD is not a pair, DB is not a pair, and B and E is not a pair as well. Even though E is the last sentence, but it has to go with D. So you don't get points for correct placement, but for correct pairs. AB is one pair. BD is not a pair, DC is not a pair, C is not a pair, only 1 point. AB is one pair, B is not a pair, EC is not a pair, CD is a pair, 2 points. AB is one pair, BC is one pair, CD is one pair, D is one pair, 4 points. So this is how it is marked, and you only get points in reading. There's no negative marking, so never leave anything unattempted, please. What are the right strategies? What are the tricks, and what are the rules you need to understand? There are 2 strategies. First, let's have a look at the first strategy. Strategy 1, the very first step, you have to find the first sentence, also called or referred to as an independent sentence. What is an independent sentence? Independent sentence is any sentence which introduces the topic, the first sentence of the paragraph. An independent sentence will be the sentence which introduces the topic, can stand out by itself as well, means it does not really need any other piece of information to make complete sense. It can stand out by itself, is complete, and is not dependent on any other sentence for any kind of information. How do you identify an independent sentence? The sentence will always give you a general idea and will introduce the topic. It will not have in-depth details. It will most of the times consist of or introduce a person's name, or will introduce any technical term, any book, any research, place, or situation. It will not be dependent on any other sentence. For example, if I say, we are going to that park to play cricket. If I say that park, you don't really need which park is it? That is not a complete or an independent sentence. So this sentence will not be dependent on any other sentences for any kind of information. Few other things which you need to take care of. It will never refer back to previous sentence, as I mentioned, he, she, that, those, they. Normally, it will not sentence with transition words or connectors like firstly, secondly, however, therefore. There's one acronym rule as well. This is very important. You should be taking care of this. Acronym means short forms, you can say. If there is any short form along with a full form or complete term, the sentence with the complete term will always come before the first sentence. Let's say you've got 2 sentences. One says Mr. S. Smith, and the other one says Mr. Steven Smith or Steve Smith. All right. Doesn't matter what the case is, the sentence with full name Steven Smith or Steve Smith will come first and S. Smith will come afterwards. It's not necessary that S. Smith will come immediately after or right next to Steven Smith. It can be the second, third, or fourth sentence, but definitely the sentence with the full name will come prior to the sentence with abbreviations. All right. Similarly, sentence with United Nations and UN, this will come first and this will be down the line. Dr. Michael Clark and Dr. Clark, this will be first and this afterwards. If you are still not able to find out the independent or the introductory sentence, consider each and every sentence and see if you can use that sentence to start a conversation with a stranger. A stranger means a person who has no background knowledge of what you're talking about. If you can use that sentence, that is an independent sentence. If there's any sentence which you can use to start a conversation with a stranger, that is an independent or an introductory sentence. There are few other rules. These rules are not just limited to finding the first sentence, but rather solving the whole reorder paragraph. Okay. All right. Rule of article. There are two type of articles, indefinite and definite. What's the rule? Sentences with indefinite articles will always come before the sentence with the definite articles referring to same noun. Let's say there are two sentences. One sentence is Aaron bought a baseball bat. The baseball bat is green in color. So a baseball bat and the baseball bat. You always use a or an to introduce the thing. So this will always come before and this will come afterwards. If you have got two sentences, in the one sentence, if they're using a or an with the noun, and the other sentence they're using with the same noun, the sentence with the will always come afterwards, and sentence with a or an will always come before. Time periods and dates. Time periods and dates will be given in a lot of reorder paragraphs. However, you do not have to blindly follow the time periods. Let's say there are three time periods. One says 1900, other one says 1950, and the other one says 2010. It is not important that 1900 will come first, then 1950, then 2000. They can go from past to present, but they can come from present to past as well. Time periods, you can use these to get idea, but you should not blindly rely on these. Last hint, any kind of examples will always come after the explanation, so keep an eye. Any kind of example will always come after the explanation of the same topic. You have to find the following sentences. How do you find the following sentences? There's a rule in English. A sentence is always formed this way: subject, verb, object. What is the rule? The object in first sentence becomes the subject in the second. The object, if you're talking about a paragraph, the object in the first sentence becomes the subject in the second. However, this is not that simple. It's not that the last word here will be the next word here and you're done with your job. But you have to still use this rule. All right, subject is the person, a verb is the action which the person is performing, and object is the thing on which the action is being performed. So the rule is the object in the first sentence becomes the subject in the second. In short, the rule states that the next sentence will always give you more information about the previous. It is not that the last word here will always be the first word of the next sentence. However, this rule is still applicable. The words will be different. However, the next sentence here will always give you previous information about the things which they have mentioned here. For example, the woman built a strong wall. It's not necessary the next sentence will start with a strong wall. However, the next sentence will give you more information about this. It, what is it? Singular wall. It was built a year ago with the help of three workers. All, what are all? All of them had years of experience. They are still working on a new project. Now, few of you will ask me why this sentence cannot come here. There is also three workers because this is past and this is present. So a woman built a strong wall. The wall was built with the help of three workers. All of them, all the three workers at that time had years of experience and they're still working on a new project. So the next sentence, if you figure out the independent or the first sentence, the next sentence will always give you more information about the previous sentence. Keep this thing in your mind. This is what reorders are, and this is how you have to solve reorders. Can be slightly challenging. I have explained you strategy number one. However, you should know strategy number two as well. Sometimes it will be very difficult for you to figure out the first sentence. In that case, see, you have only 2 minutes to solve any question type you get in reading, okay? and you cannot really spend 10 minutes on solving one reorder paragraph. If you're not able to solve or figure out the introductory sentence within the first 30 seconds, what you do is forget about the introductory sentence. What you do is you look at your screen, and out of the 4 sentences or the 5 sentences you have been given, try to make one pair. Means find out 2 sentences which go together. Let's say you know that this sentence and this sentence will go together. Place them together over here. You have got one pair now, and you have secured 1 point. You are left with 2 sentences if there are 4 sentences. Obviously, these will go together, but you have to figure out whether this will come first or this will come first. Figure that out, make another pair, bring it here. You have secured another point. Now you have to figure out whether this will go on the top or this will go at the bottom or this will be at the top. If this is more journal information, this will go at the top. If this is more journal information, this will go at the top. Remember, in reorders, you have structure like this. The journal information or simple information is always on the top, and specific information is always at the bottom. So details at the bottom, journal information at the top. Let's say you've got 5 sentences, right? Let's say you have got 5 sentences. Let me explain it to you this way. 3, 4, 2, 1, and 5. And the correct order is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Out of these 5 sentences, figure out one pair. Identify one pair. Now let's say you have figured out that 3 and 4 is a pair. Take 3 and 4 from here to here. 3 and 4. You have placed it like this. You have secured 1 point. This is gone. You're left with 2, 1, and 5. Out of the remaining 3 sentences, it is very easy and important as well to make one pair, and you'll be able to figure out which 2 sentences go together. Let's say you have got another pair, 1 and 2. Take 1 and 2 over here. 1 and 2. You're just left with number 5. You're left with number 5. Before you take number 5 over here, you need to see whether this pair is journal or this pair is journal. If this is journal, you shuffle them up. Now 1, 2 comes first, and 3, 4 comes afterwards. You're left with 1 point here, 1 point here, and number 5. Number 5 can either go here, here, or here. It cannot go here or here because these two are already pairs. It will go in the beginning if it's an independent sentence and introduces the topic. It will go in the middle if it's giving more information about number 2. It will go at the end if it's concluding the passage or giving more information about fourth. If you placed it correct, you're getting full points here as well, and you'll get all the points for all the passages. If you place fifth one incorrect, still you will end up getting 2 points. So basically what the strategy is, try to figure out the independent sentence. If you can, try to find the following sentences and focus on the meaning of the passage. Use the rules which I have shared. If it's difficult for you to figure out the first sentence, make one pair, take on the other side. Make another pair, take on the other side. See which is more journal. The journal one goes on the top and the other pairs goes at the bottom. You're left with one sentence on the left hand side. See if it's an independent sentence, will go at the top. If it's giving more information about the second sentence, it will go in the middle. If it's giving more information about the last sentence, which is your fourth sentence, it will go at the end. Place that and move on. That's your strategy number 2. You can use this as your backup strategy. At least you'll not get 0, you'll get some points out of it. And that was your reorder paragraph. You have to practice reorder paragraphs every day as well. Now we'll move on to the second last task of reading. Task number 4, reading blanks, drag and drop. Important question type, but it is pretty similar to what we have done in reading and writing blanks. What happens over here, you'll get a passage on your screen with 4 to 5 blanks, and you'll have 7 to 8 options at the bottom of your screen. This only contributes towards your reading. You have to focus on context, grammar, and you have to eliminate the options. This is what your screen looks like. This is your question. You'll always have almost 1.5 times the number of options as compared to the number of blanks. Let's say if you have got 5 blanks, you'll have 7, 8 options here. All right. You'll have to read the passage, understand the meaning of the passage, use grammar, and then select the best possible option. Let's say you come onto the first blank, you're not sure, leave it, come on to the second one. Not sure, leave it, come on to the third one. Fill the ones which you are sure first and the remaining ones afterwards. You get 1 point for each correct answer, zero for incorrect. You'll have 4 to 5 reading blanks passages in your test, and each blank will have around 4 to 5 blanks. So let's say if you get 5 passages with 4 blanks each, you're getting 20 points in reading, only in reading, not nothing else. Still, 20 points are a lot, and you have to take care of this. I'll come to this as well in a while, how you have to practice this. But these are the grammar rules which I've just explained to you in reading and writing blanks. Same grammar rules and same strategies are applicable over here as well. I'll not be explaining these once again because that would be just repeating the same content again. However, if you have not watched that in the beginning of the reading module, I've explained all the rules as well. Things you have to take care of in reading blanks: do not spend more than 2 minutes per passage. Understand the context, use the rules, select or fill the blanks you are sure about first, eliminate the options, and then whatever you're left with, fill each and everything. There's no negative marking. As I mentioned, the ones you are sure about, fill them first and then the remaining ones. Do not leave anything unattempted. This only contributes towards your reading. You have to practice 15 to 20 every day. How you have to practice? Same way as you did your reading and writing blanks. If you go on languageacademy.com.au, we have made your practice very easy. You click here, filter by with explanation videos, always click on not attempted, open it. All right. Now let's say let's fill something random. So I've got everything incorrect. If I click here, I'll get to know the meaning, examples, meaning, definition, examples, and the explanation of why the wrong answer is the wrong answer and why the correct answer is the correct answer. If you still don't understand, look at the explanation of the passage here, and this is the audio and video explanation of this particular passage. Will make your job pretty easy, that yes, why this answer is the right answer and why the wrong answers are the wrong answers. I really want you to go through these explanation videos because it's not practically possible for you to memorize each and every passage, and I don't really want you to do that. What I want you to do is to understand the logic. In the exam, passages will be different, but logics will be same. You have to focus on those logics and you will make your job super easy. What you have to do, you have to understand the logic, watch the videos, apply the rules, and you'll be fine. Practice 20 reading blanks every day. Use the same rules which I've told you in reading, writing blanks, and do not leave any of the task unattempted. Very important module. Now we'll move on to the last question type of the reading module, which is MCQ single answer, not important again. Reading has got 5 different question types. Start with reading writing blanks, then MCQ multiple, then reorder paragraph, then reading drag and drop blanks, and MCQ single answers. MCQ multiple and single answers are not important. Reorder have a moderate level of importance. Reading writing blanks and reading blanks, drag and drop down blanks are extremely important. Okay. What happens over here? Pretty similar to MCQ multiple answer. However, there's only one correct answer here. You'll be given a passage on your screen. Along with the passage, you'll have a question. Along with the passage, you'll have a question and 4 options. First of all, you have to read the question so that you know which part of the passage you have to focus on. Sometimes you'll have, according to the passage, which of the following is true. In that case, you'll have to read whole of the passage and compare the information in the passage with the options. So you read the question, read the passage, compare the information in the passage with the options, and select the one which you think or which actually is correct as per the passage. Remember, most of the times correct answers are paraphrased, means meaning will be same, but words will be different. What are the things you need to take care of in MCQ single answer? See, in the beginning, I told you reading for whole of the module, you will have around 29 to 31 minutes and around 15, 16 or 17 questions. So this is the last question of your reading module. You can spend whatever time you're left with, because even if you finish this in 1 minute or 30 seconds or 2 minutes, you do not have any next task which is important. So whatever time you're left with, you can spend on this. But I think you'll be only left with 1 to 2 minutes. So whenever you practice, make sure you do not spend more than 1 minute per passage. Read the question, highlight what the question is asking you, locate the information in the passage, and compare with the information in the options and select. 1 point for correct answer, zero for incorrect. There's no negative marking, and do not leave anything unattempted. This only contributes to your reading, no other module. This is how your screen is going to look like, and that will be the end of the reading module. Now, reading, as I've explained to you, is extremely important but can be challenging at times. Reading 45 points are from reading, 45 points are outside the reading module. For reading, what you have to focus on, your primary focus should be both the reading blanks and reorders. If you're aiming for a band 6, 6.5, reading reorders are not that important. MCQ multiple and single are not important. I don't really want you to spend a lot of time on these. But yes, once while practicing, if you are tired, if you're bored, you can practice a few here and there. What I would want you to do is I want you to practice on languageacademy.com.au. Along with that, look at the explanation videos. And reading can be slightly challenging. So I want you to take this mock test, which is available. If you go to the website here, so there are mock tests available. So if you go to reading mock test, this mock test will be just reading module. So just 5 question types I've just explained to you. If you go to extensive mock test, this is where you get the real picture. Reading extensive mock test will not just be your 5 modules, but it will be all the modules or all the question types which contribute towards your reading module. Okay. If I show you here, so this extensive mock test for reading will have read aloud, summarize, written text as well, because these two also contribute towards your reading. Then reading, writing, fill in the blanks, MCQ multiple answer, reorder paragraph, reading, fill in the blanks, MCQ single answer. And these 2 questions from your listening module, highlight correct summary and highlight incorrect words. This is what I would want you to do when you are done practicing your reading, fill in the blanks. So practice, understand where you're going wrong, look for AI explanation. See, we have put in a lot of effort, and all our students use our portal and the app to practice so that their journey is smooth and easy. And I would highly suggest you all to follow whatever we have put in effort over the last 7 years so that you don't have to work hard, rather you work smart, practice, understand the logic, apply the same logic in the mock test, see your scores, see the feedback. You'll get feedback, scorecard, analysis, and what mistakes you have made and what you need to improve, and how you have to improve. You work on the same and go for the test, and don't waste your time and money and get your desired scores. So that was our reading. Now we'll jump on to the listening module. All right, guys, the last module of the test, listening module, an extremely important module. You have to make sure you know what you have to do here if you actually want to get your desired scores. Listening in total, as you know, is 90 points. 50% of the marks in listening are from the listening module, and 50% of the marks in your listening module are from speaking module, which are repeat sentence, read a lecture, and answer short question. However, listening module contributes a lot towards your writing module. So it is important you work properly over here. Listening module is divided into 2 parts. The first part is summarize spoken text, which you get 10 minutes for every summarized spoken text you have. After that, you will have an overall time of 13 to 19 minutes. And you'll have 11 to 14 questions in the part 2 or section 2 of the listening module. There will be an overall time, means you'll have to manage the time yourself. You have 8 different question types in listening: summarize spoken text, listening MCQ multiple answer, fill in the blanks, highlight correct summary, MCQ single answer, and select missing word, highlight incorrect words, and write from dictation. Out of these 8 question types, only 4 are important. 4 are not important at all. We'll be focusing a bit more on the important questions, and I would also advise you to not spend too much time on the questions which are not important. So once you start your listening module, the very first question type you're going to get is summarize spoken text. In this, you get an audio lecture, interview, or a conversation, which will go around 40 to 90 seconds. So you'll get an audio lecture. While the audio is going on, you have to take notes. Once the lecture stops, you need to write down the summary of the lecture in 50 to 70 words. You will get 10 minutes for each summarized spoken text, and 10 minutes are inclusive of the audio time. Let's say the audio goes on for 2 minutes, you will only have 8 minutes to write your summary. You will get one or two summarized spoken text in your test, and this is an extremely important question type because this gives you points in listening and writing. This is how your screen looks like. Here you have the instructions, you have the timer. Timer sometimes can be here as well. Here you type your answer, and then you can use this cut, copy, and paste button because keyboard shortcuts will not work over there. This is the word count. The marking criteria. One summarized spoken text is 10 points. You get 2 points for content, 2 for form, 2 for grammar, 2 for spellings, and 2 for vocabulary. This will get you points in listening and writing as well. When it comes to your content, remember there is no correct or incorrect answer, or there is no fixed answer. Why? Because if one summary is given to 100 students, and let's suppose all of them they're writing the correct answer, all of them will have different answers. So how do they check your content? To get full points in content, you have to make sure you have around 7 to 8 important keywords from the lecture in your answer. When I say keywords, keywords means important words, topic words, words related with topic, proper nouns, any words repeated again and again. 2 points for form. This is simply that you have to write between 50 to 70 words. 2 points for grammar. If there are no grammar mistakes, you get 2 on 2. If there's one grammar mistake, you get 1 on 2. More than one grammar mistake, 0. 2 points for spellings. Very, very important. And this is one area majority of the students lose points and their listening goes down, their writing goes down as well. No spelling mistake, 2 on 2. One spelling mistake, 1/2, more than 1/0. 2 points for vocabulary. For this, just make sure you use academic words, no contractions and abbreviations. I've explained to you all of this, spelling errors and vocabulary. While the lecture is going on, you have to take notes. Now, when you take notes, first thing, make sure you take the notes neatly. Make sure your pen and notepad are ready before the lecture. Before the lecture starts, you'll have around 6 to 7 seconds. While the lecture is going on, try to write down 6 to 7 keywords or phrases. Try to focus more on proper nouns and important keywords like name, date, place, things, any technical terms or quotes. Try not to write the full statements or full keywords, try to write short forms. And if you skip something, don't try to recall it. Just move on to the next point. You can't do anything about it. Try not to worry about the spelling errors and articles. Try to take notes in an organized form so that it's not difficult for you to read while you are rewriting the lecture or summarizing the lecture. Here as well, either you can use UK English or US English. You cannot mix both of these. So for example, if you're writing characterize with S, you cannot write color with OR. You have to follow this as well. Very important to be taken care of. Throughout your test, either you follow UK English or US English. Also, make sure you always capitalize proper nouns. You will have a lot of proper nouns in summarized spoken text, and this is where I see a lot of students make a lot of mistakes. Always capitalize the first alphabet of proper nouns such as name of person, any place, any organization, any book, religion, weekdays, month, nationality, any language in the world, any particular event which will not happen again, Industrial Revolution, World War II. Remember, name of the subjects such as math and science are not capitalized. However, name of subjects which are also name of languages like English, French, or you can say Hindi, Urdu, Nepali will always start with a capital alphabet. Okay. You have to use strategy. You have to keep it easy, keep it simple. This is one of the proven templates I'm giving out to you in this video. This is tried and tested, and I really want you to use this. You have to write 50 to 70 words, use the template and add the ideas. Topic, whatever the main keyword was the main topic of the lecture. Firstly, the salient aspects mentioned include keyword 1, another keyword, and another keyword. Your keyword can be one word, two word, or a short phrase as well, but don't write too long keywords, otherwise you'll exceed the word limit. All right. Keyword 1, 2, and 3, but your keyword should be complete as well. It's not that you're writing something irrelevant. Keywords should make some sense. For example, you can't just write the word good. You can write good boy. So you need to make sure you write proper keywords. Furthermore, the key aspects concerned with topic, whatever topic you have written here, you can repeat here, or you can write any other keyword as well. Consist of another keyword, comma, another keyword, comma. Remember, before and you have to use comma here. Before and you have to use comma here, another keyword. However, the arguments raised also emphasized on one keyword, comma, another, as well as this. To conclude, he asserted the significance of one keyword, comma, second keyword, comma, and third keyword. This is what you have to do. You have to take notes, try to write as many as keywords or key ideas from the passage, add your keywords or key ideas from the passage in your answer, and you'll be good. This is a sample answer. Globalization was the main topic of the lecture. Let's say the lecture was about globalization, but you're not really sure about the spellings of globalization. I would say just write IT revolution was the main topic of the lecture. One expert tip, any word you're not sure about, I do not want you to write it. If there are less keywords, you repeat the same, but do not write any word you're not sure. You'll not get anything in your content, plus you lose points in your spellings as well. Firstly, the salient aspects with S mentioned include the merger, IT revolution, comma, and globalization. Furthermore, the key aspects concerned with globalization, in double quotes again, consist of the fusion of the world, connected and hyper-connected. There shouldn't be a comma over here because these two words are connected. If the word before and after and are connected, you don't need a comma. But if the word before and after and are not connected, you need a comma. However, the arguments with S raised also emphasized on interconnected, interdependent, as well as jobs. You don't need a comma before as well as. To conclude, he asserted the significance of university, school, and the fundamental change in the world. That's what your summarized spoken text is. Easy peasy. You have to make sure while the lecture is going on, you take down notes as much as you can. And then once you start typing, make sure you have at least 7 to 8 keywords, between 50 to 70 words. Please do not exceed 70 words. Make sure you write simple sentences, focus and follow the template, and do not make any grammar mistake. Any word you're unsure about, skip it. If less words, repeat the same, but do not write a single word you're not sure about. And then 2 points for your vocabulary. If there's any word are not sure for spellings, don't write it. And for vocabulary, do not use any kind of short forms or slang language. This gives you points in listening and writing both, so be very careful, okay? All right, so that was a summarized spoken text. After summarized spoken text, your overall time starts. You will have an overall time of 13 to 19 minutes, depending on your exam pattern, and you'll have 11 to 14 questions. And it is very important you manage your time properly because the last two question types are extremely important. And PT on purpose, they have placed those questions at the end so that you waste time on the questions which are not important. If you'll not be able to complete your test, if you miss out on those questions, there are very less chances that you'll get your desired score. So I'll be telling you how much time you have to put in on each question type, what's important, what's not. This is coming from the experience over the last 7 years, and I really request you to follow these, please. So the next question is MCQ multiple answer. What happens over here? You'll get an audio. Related to the audio, you'll have a question over here, and you'll have around 5, 6, or 7 options. You'll have to listen to the audio, read out or look for what the question is asking, and then select 1, 2, or 3 options based on the information given in the lecture. Before the audio starts, you'll have 6 to 7 seconds. In those 6 to 7 seconds, read the question properly so that you know which part of the lecture you have to focus on. Let's say the question asks you, what comments are made about the students in the theater studies program? So out of the lecture, you have to focus on the students who are studying theater, right? Once you get information about it, you have to compare the information from the audio to the information given over here. Remember, the correct options are mostly paraphrased, means they will not exactly be the same words of the speaker, but they will be different words, but meaning will be same. So you have to focus on meaning, not the keywords, okay? As I've told you, focus on the meaning, not the keywords. Correct options are paraphrased. Before the audio starts, read the question. After the audio, please do not spend more than 10 seconds. This is not important question. I told you in the beginning, out of 8 questions in listening, 4 are important, 4 are not important. You get 1 point for each correct option, -1 for each incorrect option, and minimum is 0. I would highly recommend you to only select one option, but never ever leave this unattempted, because even if you leave it unattempted, you get 0. If you select one option which is incorrect, you get 0. This only contributes towards your listening, and you don't really need to practice a lot of these, not important. Again, before the audio starts, read the question, focus on the meaning of the audio. Once you locate the information which is being asked in the question in the audio, compare the information to the options here and select the right answer. That was MCQ multiple answer. Now let's move on to PTE listening. Task 3, fill in the blanks. The third task of the listening module. Extremely important question and easy question as well. You get an audio and the transcript for the audio will be given as well. Few words on the screen will be missing. Means few words from the transcript will be missing, but those words will be spoken in the audio or in the lecture. While the audio is going on, you have to take down notes, please. Take down notes of the words which are missing and then type in your answer. You get 1 point for each correct blank, 0 for incorrect blank. You get 2 to 3 passages or 2 to 3 questions of listening fill in the blanks. Each passage will have 4 to 5 blanks. So let's say you get 2 questions with 5 blanks each, you're getting 10 points. And this task gives you points in listening and writing. So 10 points in listening, 10 in writing. For listening, fill in the blanks. That's why this is very important. 1 point for each correct blank, 0 for incorrect. But you only get 1 point if your spellings are correct. As I mentioned, a transcript of the recording with several blanks will be there on your screen. The recording will be usually around 30 to 60 seconds. After listening to the recording, you'll have to type the missing words in the blanks or the gaps. You'll get 2 to 3 questions of this task. Each question will have 4 to 5 blanks. You get 1 point for each correct blank, 0 for incorrect, and it is important to note that you get points in listening and writing both. Okay. Each correct blank means your spellings should be perfect. If your spellings are not correct, you're not getting the scores. There's no negative marking, so make sure you do not leave anything unattempted here. Before the audio, you'll have 7 seconds. Remember, this is an important question type, so I really want you to be very careful. Before the audio, you'll have 7 seconds. Utilize this time to read through the passage, see how many blanks you have. You have 4, 5, or 6 blanks, so that you get an idea how you have to take the notes. Once the audio goes on, make sure you always keep your eyes on the screen, because a lot of time what happens is, as soon as students get the answer to the first blank, they take their eyes off the screen, start noting, and then once they've taken down the note, they look at the screen again, they're not able to track where the speaker is, and then they miss whole of the passage. I want you to always keep your eyes on the screen, keep your hands moving. Once the audio stops, look at your notes, type in your answer. Do not straight away start typing in the blanks. Try to take notes in your notepad and then type. While you type your answer, make sure your spellings are correct, especially words with S and ED at the end. If the word is displays and you only write display without S, you're not getting the scores. If it's play, you're just writing, if it's played, you're just writing play, you're not getting the scores. All the proper nouns should be capitalized, such as name of a person, place, organization, any book title, religion, weekdays, months. If there's any blank after full stop, after question mark, or after exclamations, you have to start with a capital alphabet as well. So these are the things you need to take care of, and I want you to practice at least 10 listening fill in the blanks every day. While you practice, any spelling mistake you make, you need to note it down at the end of your notebook. Whatever practice book you have, at the end, leave 10 pages and maintain a spelling list so that you don't have to go through the spellings again and again. Any spelling mistake you have, just note it down there, read it before your test, and you will be okay. That was listening fill in the blanks, extremely important. We'll move on to the next task of the listening module. Highlight correct summary. Again, a task which is not that important. This is pretty similar to MCQ multiple answer. The difference is over here only one option is correct and the options are quite lengthy. What happens here, as soon as you come or jump onto this question, you will have 6 to 7 seconds before the audio starts. After the audio starts, you will be given a lecture. Once the audio stops, you have to select one option which actually summarizes the lecture. You get 1 point for each correct option, 0 for incorrect. There's no negative marking. The lectures here are usually lengthy, so I would always advise you to take notes. Also, this task gives you points in reading and listening both. So 1 point in reading, one in listening, you'll get 1 to 2 highlight correct summaries. As I've mentioned, you'll have 4 options on the screen. Options can be lengthy as well, up to 60 words. And audio related to the given options will be played. The lecture or the audio can go to 90 seconds. You'll need to select one option which best relates to the audio and summarizes the lecture. Summary means brief of the lecture. Obviously, the option will not cover each and everything from the lecture, but all the important words or important information or topics. You'll only get 1 or 2 of these in your test, and this contributes towards your listening and reading. You get 1 point for correct answer, 0 for incorrect. There's no negative marking, so make sure you do not leave it unattempted. Only always select one option. You will be awarded points both in reading, but not a lot of points, only one in reading, one in listening. And that also comes down to 0.5 when you actually look at the marking criteria, which I'm going to discuss shortly. After the audio, because the audios are lengthy, once the audio stops, you can only take up to 30 to 40 seconds for this question type because the options are lengthy. This is not important and I would not want you to spend too much time over here. What you have to do before the audio starts, try to skim through the options so that you have some idea what the lecture is going to be about. While the audio is going on, understand the lecture and take down keywords. Don't try to write each and everything down. Take notes, but only write the important words so that you can compare what was actually there in the lecture with the options on your screen. Once the lecture stops, compare your keywords with the options. Eliminate the options based on 3 parameters. There will be 3 types of options. One option is true, means all the information from the passage is there. All the information from the audio is there in the option. Second will be false, means something else was in the lecture and something else is in the option. Third will be true with extra information, means everything in the passage was there in the lecture, but there is some extra information in the passage which was not there in the lecture. You do not have to select this one as well. Correct options are paraphrased, so don't just go behind the keywords, go behind the meaning, and make sure you do not spend more than 30 to 40 seconds after the audio. This is not important. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You'll have 4 types of options. Everything in the audio is there in the option, but with some extra information. This is incorrect. Everything in the option was there in the passage, but the key idea of the audio is not in the option, so you don't have to select it. False means something else was there in the audio and something else is in the option. You don't have to select this. So this was your highlight correct summary. Before the audio starts, just go through the passages. Why I'm saying passages? Because the options are pretty lengthy. That's why I'm saying passages again and again. So the options, so that you have some idea what the options are going on, what the lecture is going to be about. While the lecture is going on, understand the lecture, try to take down notes so that you can compare the information in your notes to the information in the options, then select the one which actually summarizes and move on. Do not spend more than 40 seconds. You have to be quick. You have to focus on the meaning of the lecture. This is not important, so I would not want you to practice a lot of these. Next is MCQ single answer, pretty similar to MCQ multiple answer. The difference here is you only have 4 options and only one option over here is correct. Before the audio starts here as well, you have 6 seconds. In those 6 seconds, look at the question, what the question is actually asking you so that you can actually focus on the right part of the audio. And if you still have time, just skim through the options as well. Once the audio starts, you don't have to take notes here because the audios are short and options are short as well. Understand the meaning of the lecture and side by side, keep comparing the information in the option as well. Let's say the question says, which of the following is true as per global warming? So if you have keyword global warming here, you have to look for the word global warming in the lecture. As soon as you locate or figure out they're talking about global warming, compare the information in the lecture to the information in the options. Select the one which actually is correct, not the same keywords, but the one which is of same meaning from the audio, and move on. Correct options are mostly paraphrased. Before the audio starts, read the question, but after the audio, do not spend more than 10 seconds. Again, not important. You might be thinking this guy is telling everything's not important, but I told you in the beginning, listening, four questions are important, four are not important. The important ones are listening, summarize spoken text, listening, fill in the blanks, listening, highlight incorrect word, which is the seventh question, and listening right from dictation, which is the last question. So this is not important. Make sure you don't spend more than 10 seconds. You'll have 1 to 2 of these in the test. No negative marking, 1 point for correct and 0 for incorrect. Always select one option even if you're not sure, because there's no negative marking, and this only gives you points in the listening. The next task is select missing word, the last question type, which is not important again. What happens here? Slightly different to MCQ single answers. You will get an audio in your question. The last few words of the audio will be replaced by a beep. In the instructions, you will have the topic of the audio as well. For example, this audio will be about art which never dies. And then you'll have four options. As per the lecture, you have to select one option out of the four which will replace the beep or which will go at the end of the lecture. As I mentioned, you'll get an audio lecture which will be 30 to 60 seconds long. Last few words of the audio will be missing. You'll have 3 to 5 options to choose from. Before the audio starts, you'll have 6 to 7 seconds to go through the options. In those 7 seconds, read the topic of the audio and the options over here. This only contributes to listening. There's no negative marking. You'll get 1 to 2 questions of select missing word. You'll only get points in listening, as I mentioned. What you have to do before the audio starts, skim the option and pay attention to the meaning of the lecture. You don't have to take notes over here as well. You have to actually identify whether the lecture is a positive context or a negative context, or is it contradictory. This is one thing you have to do. Second thing, you have to note down last few words of the lecture. Once the lecture is over here, at least note down 3 to 4 words of the lecture before the beep. All right. And then you have to use the lecture topic as well. How you have to use this, I'll tell you. Let's say you have written last 4 words of the lecture. Last 4 words were I am going to dash. And your options are swimming, swim, shopping, play. Based on grammar, you can easily eliminate 2 options. I'm going to swimming will be incorrect. I'm going to shopping will be incorrect. I'm going to swim. I'm going to play. Either this or this. Now you have eliminated the options using grammar. You are left with 2. Out of these 2, you have to use the context. If the passage was about swimming, you'll use swim over here. If it was about playing, you'll use the word playing over here. Now, let's say you're still not sure. What you do, you select the option which is closely related with the lecture topic. Whatever option is related with the lecture topic, you have to select that. So what you do is note down last 3 to 4 words of the lecture, join all the options with those 4 words, see if you can eliminate something grammatically. Then according to the meaning of the passage, select the one which you are sure. If you're still confused between 1 or 2 options, select the one which is actually relevant and related to the main topic over here. All right, so this was listening. Sixth task, select missing word, not important. After this, 2 question types are extremely important. Make sure you do not leave this unattempted. I want you to always attempt anything you get in the test. All right. Seventh task, highlight incorrect word or words. Extremely important and easy at the same time. What happens here? You will get an audio. Along with the audio, you will have the transcript of the audio on your screen. But few words in the transcript will be different to what is actually spoken in the audio. You have to just select words which are incorrect as per the audio. For example, instead of dog, if they have spoken cat, you have to select it. If instead of length, if they have spoken strength, you have to select it. Instead of trades, if they have said braids, you have to select it. Okay, so few words in the audio will be different to what's on the transcript. You have to select those. You'll get an audio lecture 30 to 60 seconds long. Transcript of the lecture will be available on the screen. Few words in the transcript will be different as compared to the audio. You'll need to select the different words or incorrect words. Remember, you get 1 point for each correct selection, and there's negative marking -1 for each incorrect selection. Minimum is 0. So there's negative marking in this task type. In PT, there are 3 question types which are marked negatively: reading MCQ multiple, listening MCQ multiple, and highlight incorrect words. Minimum is 0 means, let's say you have selected 2 options or 2 words, both are incorrect, you'll not get -2, you'll only get 0. So negative marking is within the task itself, not outside the task. So if there's any word you're not sure, please do not select it. This will give you points in reading and listening both. That is why this is extremely important. You will get 2 to 3 highlight incorrect words in your test, and normally one passage will have 4 to 5 incorrect words. But this is not something which is compulsory. A passage can have 3 words as well, can have 7 words as well. This is the average. Let's say you get 3 passages with 4 incorrect words, you're getting 12 points in reading, 12 points in listening. That is why I was telling you to not spend time on MCQ multiple, MCQ single, select missing words. Because if you spend time over there and if you do not have enough time here, you are going to lose a lot of points. So 12 points in reading, 12 points in listening if you get 3 of these in your test with 4 incorrect words each. So please keep an active eye over here. This task is extremely important. Make sure you practice these at least 5 every day. And one tip which I would want you to give over here when you practice is, I'll just share the screen with you guys. Whenever you practice these ones, what I want you to do is, because in the exam they can be a bit fast as well. So whenever you practice, make sure you increase your speed over here to 1.2. Once you increase your speed by to 1.2 over here, the audio will go fast, obviously, and in the exam, it will be easy for you to practice. If you don't, if you practice on the easy ones, things can be difficult in the test. But if you practice on the difficult question types, when your difficulty level is higher, in the exam, it will be easy and you'll be able to solve everything in an easy manner, and you'll be able to crack the test as well. So that's the 7th question, second last question of the test. After this, we have the most important question, but before that, let me give you some tips and strategies. Before the audio starts, quickly skim through the text. Words with similar pronunciation, especially adjectives, adverbs, will be different. Do not worry much about the articles or helping verbs. These will never be incorrect. I would just say don't select. Even if you think, don't select these words. Similar sounding words which are a bit lengthy will be incorrect. If you're not sure, do not select because there's negative marking. Now comes the king of the test, the most important question. I recently took a test to do one experiment with write from dictation. I only attempted write from dictations in the test. I got 14 listening and more than 14 writing as well. This task is extremely important because this is going to contribute heavily towards your listening and writing. And if you do not have enough time for this particular task, you'll not get the scores, I'm telling you. That's why I was telling you to not spend a lot of time in the questions which are not important. What happens over here? You'll get an audio with a sentence. You have to type the same sentence over here. Sounds easy, but can be difficult. In this task, you'll get an audio with a sentence. The sentence can be anywhere between 8 to 16 words long. You'll need to type the sentence exactly as you hear it. This task will give you points, a lot of points in listening and writing. You get 1 point for each correct word and there's no negative marking. So you get 1 point for each word which is spelled correctly and 0 for each word which is spelled incorrectly or incorrect word. You can add extra words, but this is a trick which we have to use, which I'll tell you shortly. You'll have 3 to 4 of these in your test, and I want you to spend a maximum of 50 seconds to 1 minute on one sentence, including the audio time. Before the audio starts, you'll have around 7 seconds, 7 to 8 seconds. Make sure you're ready with your marker and notepad. Once the audio is going on, make sure you understand the sentence and take down notes. When it comes to taking down notes, I would not recommend you to write the whole sentence because you'll not be able to complete the sentence. If you try to write all of the words, the audio will be gone and you'll not be able to recall the words. Rather, what you can do is you can write the initials of the sentence and you keep repeating the sentence in your mind. For example, if the sentence is I'm going to London, you just write I am going to London and then write the main words London going in your notepad and then type. Keep on repeating the sentence in your mind, take initials, write down the main words and then type back. Once the audio stops, keep on repeating the sentence in your mind. Make sure the first word is capitalized, spellings are correct, proper nouns are capitalized, and at the end you use a full stop. Let me show you this trick and few other things for write from dictation. Why I was telling you this task is extremely important. The reason why I was telling you this is you get 3 to 4 write from dictations. Normally, one dictation is around 10-11 words long. Let's say you get 4 dictations, 10 words long. You get 1 point for each correct word. You're getting 1 point for each correct word. So one sentence with 10 words is giving you 10 points in listening, 10 in writing. 4 sentences, 10 words each, 40 points in listening and 40 points in writing. 40, that is a very big number, almost 50% of your listening and 50% of your writing. That is why I was telling you to make sure you don't spend time on questions which are not important. PT on purpose has placed this task at the end so that you spend time on questions which are not important. You do not have time for this one, you do not get your scores, and you take the test again. So make sure you have enough time for this. Let me take you to the website and show you what trick you can use to maximize your scores, which I recently used, which I advise all my students to use, and which is definitely working after the changes as well. So let's say this is a sentence, right? First of all, let me tell you how you have to take the notes.
The seeds need to be completely immersed in water.
So it was the seeds, I've written SS for seeds, need to be completely immersed in water. So what I'll do is I'll keep on repeating the sentence in my mind. You don't take the notes in the word box over here. You take the notes in the notepad you have been provided. So the T will be capital. Seeds need to be completely immersed in water, right? So this was the sentence. First alphabet should be capital and then full stop. I told you get 1 point for each correct word and you get 0 for each incorrect or misspelled word. The trick is you can add extra words over here. Any word you're not sure about spellings, any word you're not sure about singular or plural, any word you're doubtful whether it should be capital or not, you can write an extra word. For example, I'm not sure if it was the or a. I'll write both. If I'm not sure if it was seeds or seed, I'll write seeds. Need, needs. I'm not sure. If in case you're not sure. If you're sure, just type the ones you are okay and then move on. To be completely immersed. Let's say I'm not really sure about the spellings for immersed. Immerse. In, I'm not sure if there was the over here or not. I'll add it. I'll submit it. Immerse spellings, but okay. Well, how many points I've got? I've got 9 on 9. How? The is the correct word. A, I added extra, but I don't lose any points for that because there's no negative marking. Seeds need to be completely immersed in water. There was no the over here, but I added because I was confused. Now, this is one trick you can use. I added double the number of words. For example, in the test which I've recently taken, where I only attempted write from dictation, If I got a sentence 10 words long, I wrote 20 words and in jumbled order. So sequence is not important as well. So you can do is what you need to do is the only thing you need to do is you type your answer word here. At the end, put a full stop and always start the sentence with a capital alphabet. And if you're writing the replacement of the first word, you have to write that capital as well, right? This is what I did in the test and I got full points. You can definitely do this. However, I want you to be careful about one thing, which is add add extra words, but only add extra words where you actually doubtful about. Don't just play around with the words. I've seen students, they just keep on playing with the words, they keep on adding the words, and at the end they don't have enough time to finish off their test. Let's say you're on the first dictation. You listen to the sentence, take notes, type your answer. Wherever you're doubtful, add extra words, but don't just keep on adding extra words for no reason. Because if you spend a lot of time on the first dictation, you'll not have enough time on the last for the remaining dictations. So don't play around with the words, but wherever you are doubtful, go for extra words. You will not be penalized for that. This is what you have to do. You have to practice around 25 to 30 writes from dictations every day, and you will be fine. This is the king of the test, and you have to make sure you practice this every day. Now I'm going to share with you the marking criteria, a daily practice plan, and few important tests. Once you're done with your write from dictation, congratulations, you finished your test. You'll be getting the results within 2 hours, or it can take up to 5 days as well. And hopefully, with the help of this video and Language Academy's portal, you get your desired scores as well. The link to all the resources, practice material, each and everything on the portal and the mobile app is in the description box. You can go and watch that as well. You can go and explore the resources I've mentioned in the description box as well. All right, let me share my screen again with you guys. So once you're done with your dictation, you'll basically be done with your test. But there are few other things I want you to be careful about. Your PT score is calculated out of 90. Means you'll get the maximum you can get is 90. However, the lowest you can get is 10. Even if you don't attempt anything, you will not get 0, you'll get 10. Therefore, your exam is only 80 points. It's not actually 90 points. So you have to work for these 80 points. So if you don't attempt anything, you'll not get 0 in the test, you'll get 10. So basically 10 is equivalent to 0. So you have to only work for these 80 points to get 90. Speaking, read aloud. Speaking, repeat sentence. Speaking, read a lecture. These three are marked on three parameters as I explained to you in the beginning: fluency, pronunciation, and content. Their fluency and pronunciation goes into speaking and content part goes into reading and listening. For read aloud content, it goes into reading. And for repeat sentence and read a lecture content, it goes into listening. Speaking, read aloud, fluency and pronunciation goes towards speaking. I'm giving you the marking criteria, which is an estimate and can change a bit according to your exam pattern, because every student will have a different test and different exam pattern as well. Some will have 3 dictations, some will have 1 essay, some will have 2 essays. All right. Speaking, total is 80 because 10 is equivalent to 0. Personal introduction, 0 points. Read aloud. Why 15 minus 5? One read aloud is 15 points, but out of 15, 5 are towards your reading and remaining 10 are towards your speaking. Similarly, repeat sentence, out of 13, 3 are for your listening and 10 are for your speaking. So in speaking, you get 28 points from your read aloud, 31 points from your repeat sentence, 13 points from your describe image, 6 points for your retell lecture, 2 points for answer short questions. That's why I told you these are not important. These all are extremely important. For summary, if you get two, for writing actually, sorry, if you get 2 summaries and 1 essay, this is what your writing score distribution looks like. Out of 90, or you can say 80, 8 points for summarize written text, 10 to 11 points for essay, 17 points for reading writing blanks, 12 points for summarize spoken text, 12 for listening fill in the blanks, and 21 to 25 points for your write from dictation. I told you if you get 3 dictations, if you get 4, this goes up to 30. Remember this thing. That's why I was telling you for writing, you have to focus on writing, but majority of the writing scores are from listening and reading. Writing itself is only giving 18 points. Remaining points are from other modules. So if you are actually struggling in your writing, don't just work on your writing. Similarly, for your reading, out of 90, the total is 18, 90 because 10 is equivalent to 0. The top contributor is speaking read aloud. If you actually want to score high in reading, work on your read aloud. Then reading, writing blanks, reading blanks. Then your reorders, highlight incorrect words. Then MCQ multiple answers, MCQ single answers, highlight correct summary, not important, not important, not important. Summarize written text around 3 points. This is what I was telling you again and again. That's why I was telling you not to focus on this, not to focus on this, not to focus on this. And then listening, major contributors. This is based on an estimate that you only get 3 dictations. If you get 4, then it will change a bit. But the top contributors will obviously remain the top contributors. 20 write from dictation, 20 repeat sentence. So 40 points means 50% of the points from these two question types. Then 14 from summarize spoken text. 6 from retell lecture. If you get more retell lectures, or let's say if you get 12 repeat sentences, this will jump on to 26. Right? So it will be a lot. Then around 7 points in listening, fill in the blanks. 7 in highlight incorrect words. Questions which I was telling you are not important. Highlight correct summary, MCQ single, select missing word. MCQ multiple answer are all giving you 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Answer short questions, 2 points. Short questions, 2 points. So what you have to focus in listening and for listening, repeat sentence, retell lecture, summarize, spoken text, listening, fill in the blanks, highlight incorrect words, and the king write from dictation. What you need to do, you need to focus on read aloud and repeat sentence. These will boost your speaking, reading, and listening. You have to manage your time in reading and listening, especially because the last two question types in listening are extremely important. Avoid using outdated templates and methods. Focus on content relevancy. If you don't have enough content in describe image, if you don't have enough content in read a lecture, if you do not address the essay topic in essay, you're not getting the scores. Reading and listening, do not spend more than 30 seconds on MCQ single, MCQ multiple, select missing words and highlight correct summary because these are time consuming, but they do not contribute. And don't stress, follow whatever I have told you in this video, go on languageacademy.com.au and your journey will be super smooth. What you need to focus on, read aloud, repeat sentence, both the reading blanks and reorder a bit, listening, summarize spoken text, blanks, highlight incorrect words and dictation. Apart from this, you should have content relevancy in describe image, retell lecture, and writing essay. What you should be practicing every day if you have time, 20 read aloud, 30 repeat sentence if you can, otherwise you can just do 20. 20 reading, writing blanks. If you're aiming for band 7 or higher, 10 reorder. If you're aiming for band 6, you don't really need to practice reorders. 20 drag and drop blanks, 2 summarize spoken text, 10 blanks, 5 highlight incorrect words, 25 to 30 dictations, 3 describe image, 3 retell lectures as well, and every alternate day, 1 essay. Along with this, what I want you to do is on a regular basis. This is extremely important. On a regular basis, along with your practice, you have to make sure you take these sectional mock tests, extensive mock test, and after every 5 to 6 days this full mock test. This mock test is designed exactly the same way you will have your test, and once you do these mock tests you'll get tutor feedback, you'll get analysis, you'll get scorecard, which is pretty similar to what happens in the actual test. And if you work on the mistakes over here, you'll not be repeating the same mistakes in the test, and 120% you will get your desired scores. I promise you, if you follow the things I've mentioned in here, practice on languageacademy.com.au, use AI. We have integrated on a website which is very similar to what happens in the actual test. Take regular mock test, 100% success will be yours. More than 50,000 students have followed the same tricks and templates and the methodology which I have shared in this video. If they have done it, if I have got 90 13 times, you can do it as well. If you need any help, if you still have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you. My only aim is to make sure you do not waste your time, you do not waste your money. and you get your desired scores in the shortest period of time. All you need to do is follow what I've told, practice on languageacademy.com.au, take regular mock test, and success will be yours. We do provide online classes for PT Academic, UKVI, PT Core. We have students all around the world. We have got around 12 classes running throughout the day to suit different time zones, different languages, and we do provide on-campus classes in Australia, in India, and Nepal as well. For more information, you can visit our website, or if you need any help with classes, with exam booking, or anything you are not sure about, you can contact us on one of these numbers or visit our website, and our team will be with you, and we'll make sure we give 100% to help you, like we have helped 50,000, more than 50,000 other students till date. That's it from this video. If you like the video, if you think it was helpful, do like, share, and subscribe. And if you ever get your desired scores watching my videos, do let me know. That is something which will keep me going on, and that is something I work for. The only aim is so that international students don't waste their time and money, get this out of the way, get their permanent residency sorted, and get ahead with their life. That's it from this video. Varun from Language Academy. Do not forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and if you ever get your scores, do let me know. If you need any help, let us know. And now go on languageacademy.com.au and practice. I would highly recommend you practicing on a laptop because or a desktop, because that's where you're going to take the test. Otherwise, you can download the LAPT exam practice app as well, which is available on iOS and Google Play Store as well. I'll see you soon. Thank you.